Investigation and an independent autopsy. The family of the Mississippi teenager whose body was found off a barrier island. Nolan Wells was last seen on July 4th celebrating the holiday with friends. ABC's Perry Russum.
The father got to the microphone and said he wanted to know where his son's car keys were, and he was speaking with some of the friends in the house that he went to, and they said they didn't know where they were. So then they called another woman who said, oh, the keys are on top of a gaming console. So the father appeared to be concerned that some of the information was being withheld from him.
Mexican officials say their government will file criminal complaints over the deaths of its citizens in ICE custody or as part of immigration enforcement. This after the fatal shooting of a Mexican national by federal agents in Houston claiming self-defense. President Trump says the ceasefire with Iran is over. There are still what U.S. officials call technical talks. More storms and flooding expected in the Midwest and the East. This is ABC News. At least 31 states are reporting cases of a single-cell parasite stomach bug that causes frequent and long-lasting diarrhea. This does not necessarily mean that all the cases are related to the same source. No brand or product has been identified as a potential source so far. A scary mid-air incident on board a Ryanair flight in Europe. A portion of the plane's fuselage came apart, causing a window panel to dislodge. The passenger closest to the window was taken to the hospital. Nobody else hurt. Happened shortly after takeoff when the flight was heading to Germany from Greece. ABC's Tom Soufi-Burridge.
The plane safely landed shortly after. According to a Greek aviation official, they think at this stage there was a massive rupture in the engine, and effectively part of the engine on the right-hand side of the plane flew out debris and basically smashed into the fuselage, damaged the fuselage and the window.
Our Tom Soufi-Burridge. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
And we'll have more on that story ABC just mentioned about the passenger nearly getting sucked out of a Boeing 737. But first, let's check KIRO Newsradio traffic with Lori.
Southbound 405, a little heavy still through the S-curves, but just a 20-minute drive now rented to Bellevue. Linwood to Seattle, 32 minutes. And northbound I-5 slows up as you approach 512. They're in Tacoma. 509 closed between Taylor Way and Northpoint Way. And Ballard Music Fest, Seafood Fest gets underway today. And so Ballard Avenue will be closed between Northwest Market and Vernon Place Northwest. I'm Lori, KIRO, real-time traffic.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. For Nate Connors, I'm Frank Lindsay. Frightening mid-air emergency over Greece after a passenger window on board a 737 Boeing plane shattered right after takeoff. This was during a Ryanair flight.
Multiple reports say there was an engine failure and debris hit the window. The airline says the window became dislodged mid-flight, triggering a rapid decompression, meaning everything inside was being sucked outside, including a 61-year-old passenger from Serbia. There are reports he was hanging out the window. His shoulders and head were out the window at 20,000 feet, flying at about 450 miles per hour.
That's KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey. He's going to join Jake and Spike here in just a few minutes with much more on that story out of Greece. Meanwhile, for the first time ever, Boeing is building its 737 MAX in Everett. Seattle Times reports the company fired up a brand new assembly line Monday, the fourth for the MAX and the first one outside of the Renton factory. Boeing calls it the North Line, a $1 billion investment that starts with about 1,000 workers. Level 3 Go Now evacuations in place for people in Okanagan County. KIRO 7's Lindsay Sheldon has details.
The B&O fire started just outside the city of Okanagan early yesterday morning. Yesterday afternoon, the fire had burned just 400 acres. Now it's grown to around 1,500 acres. That's according to the Department of Natural Resources. Evacuation shelters have been set up in Omak and at the Okanagan County Fairgrounds.
Emergency managers say the fire destroyed some buildings and outbuildings. Not clear yet how many. Douglas County, meanwhile, offering a $25,000 reward for information on who's responsible for starting the Chelan Hills fire in central Washington last weekend. Stacy Willoughby, board president of Chelan Valley Hope, spoke with the Gia and Ursula show.
Be nice to people who are visiting. Don't start fire.
That one burned about 10,000 acres, killed one person who was overtaken by flames in their car, and also destroyed dozens of homes. It's now 95% contained. And today, red flag warning in effect for parts of central Washington for tomorrow as gusty winds develop amid very low humidity. National Weather Service in Spokane says the main concern stretches from the Okanagan Valley into the western Columbia Basin. This is meteorologist Steve Bodner.
Be cautious out there. Even if you're not in red flags, then the winds are still going to be breezy with some periods of gusty conditions. So just be safe, be smart.
He urges people to follow local burn bans, avoid driving over dry grass, and secure their trailer chains. Your weather forecast now for western Washington, the Seattle area. Partly cloudy this afternoon. We should hit 74 degrees. Tomorrow, look for a mix of sunshine and clouds with a high of 71. Partly cloudy, 75 on Sunday, and we warm up to 79 under mostly sunny skies on Monday. It's 68 degrees right now in Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Happy Friday to everyone out there. Jake Skorheim sitting alongside Spike O'Neill. Spike, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my friend. Happy Friday.
We made it through another week. Man, we've got a crazy show. Really, really good. A lot of great stuff. We got a really good question of the day, which we're going to get to in just a couple minutes. It does require a tiny, tiny bit of thought, which is the level of thought that we require here on the show. Tiny, tiny bit.
Well, I want to make the barrier to entry very low.
Yes.
We want you all to join.
But this is a really good one, and we're targeting people who would ever think about starting their own business or just anybody who has dreams out there. This is a really good question for you, and it has to do with taxes and all that fun stuff. Because Katie Wilson wants to do something that I think is ridiculous. But we'll get into it in just a couple minutes. And that question today is going to be answered on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. I will pose it to you in just a couple minutes, so hold on for that. Right now, speaking of holding on, right now, this story has gone from, I saw a blip of it mentioned early this morning. I was doing show prep at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and now it's probably the number one story in the country. What happened on a Ryanair flight with a passenger, and this is a Boeing 737?
Boeing 737 made right here in Renton.
That's not good. Tell us what happened on this Ryanair flight. That's Luke Ducey, by the way, who joins us now.
Thanks for having me. Going to be a lot of questions about the Boeing issue, but let's talk about that in just a second. So, frightening mid-air emergency over Greece after a passenger window on board that Boeing 737 just shattered shortly after takeoff. So, one passenger was almost sucked out through the window as well. This was a Ryanair jet flying from Greece to Germany. I looked on FlightAware.com, and it says that it got to about 20,000 feet. Witnesses described hearing a loud boom. Multiple reports say there was an engine failure and debris hit the window and smashed it out. But it also, when that happened, it caused rapid decompression, which means everything inside starts to get sucked outside really, really quickly, right? And the 61-year-old Serbian passenger was sucked out. He was hanging out the window. His shoulders and head were out the window, apparently.
Right?
At 20,000 feet, going like about 450 miles per hour.
Are you joking right now?
Unreal, right? I mean,
sucked out the window?
Almost.
Was he like girthy in the middle? Was he kind of a heavier set fella?
The only thing that saved him was his seatbelt.
Yeah, right. He's a heavy guy, I bet.
I don't know if he got his shoulders
and head. Yeah.
I mean,
people don't carry a lot of fat on their shoulders.
But I've witnessed a couple live births. Okay, and that plane window. I mean, ain't a lot of planes coming with the big bay windows.
No, that's true.
You know what I'm talking about? I couldn't get my shoulders through an airplane window unless I had the suction of 20,000 feet helping to pull me from the plane.
That must have been. I mean, continue the story.
Can you imagine?
Scariest environment imaginable. Also, why isn't he frozen to death? I've been told many times that at that height, you're going to die almost immediately from the freezing of the cold air.
Super cold.
Super cold air.
The plane, the incident occurred at about an hour plus into the flight. You were saying just over an hour?
About that, yeah.
And at 20,000 feet.
Yeah.
The plane then decreased levels. What's the word? Descended.
Dropped in altitude
to 6,000. 6,000?
Yeah, about 6,000 feet.
6,000 feet.
So
he's still hanging out the window.
Yes.
Well, they got him in. I think
they didn't get him in at 20,000 because the pressure is still.
No, not right away.
They bring him down to warm him up.
Oh my!
Slow down a bit so he can breathe. and then pull him back into the plane.
You want to hear my sick brain? This is immediately when I saw the story. I don't know what this is. I think this is from my days as a producer, but you're always trying to find like audio tie-ins for stories.
Okay.
And immediately, as soon as I heard guy who was almost sucked out, tell me if you guys can name the movie that this is from. Oh, my audio's not on here. Let me try that again. All right, this will be a fun little quiz.
A couple ways you can go here.
You can break a window.
They're double-layered. You can't break them.
Give me that.
You're afraid you're going to get sucked out.
I'm not afraid of being sucked out.
Yes, you are. You're afraid you're going to be sucked out.
Just stop.
You guys know the movie?
No.
You know the actor? You
Gone
probably
with
tell
the
the
Wind?
actor. It's Gone. No, it's not Gone with the Wind.
Sorry, but to get
That's
the joke.
Robin Williams as Hook. Remember the movie Hook?
Yeah, you bet.
He's in
you
the
bet.
plane.
Yeah,
His kid is hitting the double pane windows.
Never seen it.
Which I've been. What?
Sorry.
All right, that's another topic for another time.
You had boys. I had a girl.
You know what though? Honestly,
Not that matters.
No, you would have been too old to see the movie when it came out originally, and then by the time you got old enough, it makes sense. You got to see it. But anyway, back to the guy who almost got sucked out. He's alive, right? He made it.
Oh yeah, he's
fine.
He's fine. He has burns on his body from the seatbelt. I mean, that's how you know.
Oh, because
strong
he's
that-
being pulled and the
Oh
seatbelt.
yeah. And there were
Thank God for those
his
burns.
fellow passengers and his wife are also grabbing his legs and holding on. I don't know if that did anything, but certainly the seatbelt did. So let's talk about the plane a little bit. This is again a Ryanair flight operated by Malta Air, which is owned by Ryanair. But I've seen stock footage of the plane, and when you look on the body, it's got a Maltese flag on it.
Just imagine a plane with no window, and you've got it.
It's
well,
some duct
right
tape,
now.
apparently. Yeah.
So according to the plane's registration, this is an 18-year-old Boeing 737-800 built here in Renton.
Yeah.
Which is going to bring up safety questions, especially after on the heels of 2 fatal 737 MAX crashes and a door plug blowout on the flight 2 years ago. Also, Ryanair is a major Boeing customer. When they were going through the issue of whether or not they're going to be able to deliver all the planes that they could, Ryanair CEO kind of came out and was very vocal about you better deliver. In a statement, Ryanair stuck to the basics, didn't really say much. Just said the aircraft landed normally and passengers returned to the terminal. Not all of them. But the other passengers then got on another flight and then flew to Germany where they're supposed to go
this one kept
near
all its windows?
Munich. So
This one
yeah,
kept
that
all-
one
okay.
did.
They all do. This is a horrible story.
So it's probably it's not like a door plug issue necessarily. We
Right.
don't think it looks like debris hit it and
Hit the window,
smashed it.
right? And let me ask you this: I mean, I don't know the average duration of service of a Boeing 737, but they're dependable. It's the most dependable plane ever built. That's why they're so pervasive in all of air travel.
It's 22 and a half years.
But
I'm just kidding. I made that up. I don't know the actual number, but that sounds reasonable.
Let's ask AI. You can probably tell us.
Claude.
At 18 years, is this a Boeing question? Is this a maintenance question? If I'm driving a Ford Festiva for 20 years and I don't change the oil and the engine blows up, that ain't a Ford problem. That's a me problem.
There's no more warranty, right?
Well, there's
on the parts probably.
Yeah, and I know Boeing builds a dependable product that can last for decades. I know that.
I meant on your car, not the airplane.
No, yeah. My cars die the minute after the warranty expires. That's kind of planned. What is the average?
I was pretty close. According to various news sites and citations, which I can provide if anybody's interested, typically those 737s last roughly 75,000 to 90,000 flight cycles.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of miles. About 25 to 30 years of service, depending on the specific variant and how it's operated and how it's upkept.
That's what I'm saying.
So you talk about an airline in Malta. I don't know nothing about Malta, but if they're not upkeeping their planes to keep the windows good,
well,
that's a problem.
And there's a little history there, too. Malta Airlines went to some really tough times, economic times. In 2019, Ryanair had, kind of signed up with them to help them along. And then I think it was just last year, Ryanair took them over, bought them out.
Picked up a distressed property in Malta Air.
Yeah,
It'd be
exactly.
tough for Boeing, too, because anytime, I don't know if you guys are the same way, but anytime I see one of these stories about, anything bad that happens in an airplane, I scan the story. First, I make sure everybody's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I scan the story. I go, I'm looking for Boeing. If it's a Boeing, it becomes a different type of a story because it's so local here. And we have so many people tied in here locally that are, reliant on the company doing well. I'm this is horrible to say, but I'm usually hoping, I hope it's not a Boeing. I hope it's some other airline.
I think we all think that.
Yeah,
it's a valid thought.
From a news perspective.
Well, no, from a Northwest resident perspective, there's nobody here that doesn't have someone in their sphere who's got a Boeing connection. My father-in-law worked for Boeing forever. My mother-in-law's retirement well-being is tied to how well his stock does. This story affects my mother-in-law.
I got like 5 really good friends who all have various different positions at Boeing, and they have phenomenal careers there. And something like this, immediately you look at Boeing, you're like, oh man, that sucks. But then you start reading into the story. 18-year-old aircraft, operated probably with no issues for many, many years. It's in a place like Malta. Again, who knows what kind of upkeep that they do on their aircraft. And can you really park that on Boeing? If they have an engine incident that ends up being the thing that knocks out the window, it's not like the window just gave out.
It wasn't sealant. Well, the guy was the sealant, thank goodness. I mean, it could have. We're going to make jokes, and I understand, because the thought of a guy.
Everybody's fine.
The
We
thought
can
of
make
a guy
a joke.
having this
Everybody's
guy's
fine.
It's not going to be called Malta. It's going to be called Jerry Air, whatever this guy's name is. This guy's
he's
getting
gonna sue?
paid. This guy's getting paid.
Let me ask you a question.
About the sickness of our comedy in the
train of
newsroom.
thought?
Should I give some inside baseball?
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Just don't credit yourself with it. Just
It wasn't me.
Don't you name?
There you go.
Don't you
Wasn't
dare.
me.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
So, we think the same things. We were in the newsroom this morning. Got this breaking news story, and the first thing we all think is it Boeing? Okay, it is. Yeah. But it's either going to be Boeing or it's going to be Airbus. It's one of the two, right? At that size of airplane. But you first figure out, is everyone okay? Yes, no one died, no one lost a life, because that is not funny. There are no jokes ever told about anyone losing their life. But in this case, everyone's fine. I saw video of that man, and he's, afterwards, and he's there, sitting there. He
What does
looks
he look
he's
Give
Serbian.
me a body description.
First off,
Gray hair,
eyes
62 years old.
wide open.
Wearing a gray
body
t-shirt.
shape
Oh,
size.
you're looking at size.
Was he a human plug for the windows?
No, it wasn't
We're
that
asking.
large of a guy,
Okay.
but he wasn't skinny either. He was in there. He had some girth, but
If his wife had been in the seat instead of him, she would have gotten sucked out.
So keep your seatbelts fastened at all times, right? But then you start. Was his tray table in the upright position?
Was he about? It was an hour into the flight. He could probably been told to recline a seat.
Yeah.
Right? They weren't still ascending an hour into the flight. They're under normal flying conditions at that point.
I don't know. 20,000 is not very high. I mean, your cruising altitude is what, 33 to 35?
Yeah, but do you do that for
20,000?
Do you do that for an hour?
I don't know what that. I mean, I don't
either.
It's been
And
years since I've piloted a 737.
These are little commuter flights. We say Greece to.
Well, it's Germany, so it's actually pretty far.
Greece to Germany.
I was going to say it's not commuter because they're an hour into the flight.
Agreed.
It's like from here to L.A.
Commuters,
or
but
something
to me,
or to San Francisco. Or
from me to here to L.A., that's a quick flight.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
For me, a commuter flight is to England.
Okay, well,
take that.
Everybody, it's all relevant. Yeah. Well, that's my point. It wasn't going over this. It wasn't in the middle of an ocean. Maybe they got to 20,000. That's where their cruising altitude was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the little European commuter flights. I mean, you can cross 5 different countries in Europe as fast as you can cross 5 different states.
Yeah. They do things differently in Europe.
They really
in America,
do.
we like getting high up there.
And Ryanair
We
is
go for
the budget airline of Europe.
They also are the budget airline.
They are, man. I mean, they're the people that wanted to try. Remember the stacked seating proposal they had?
Oh, the standing
Where you
seats?
stand up and literally, in your face is the butt of the guy in front of you because he's halfway up so they can stack them a little closer together.
Ironically, that might have actually saved this incident from happening. If the seats were a little closer together and then he was sandwiched in and he wouldn't have gotten sucked out.
That would help.
That would have helped. I'm just glad that he's
and I'm a guy that takes off his seatbelt. By nature, I am.
You can't do that.
I am. I know.
I keep it on for this
entire
for
the duration.
Oh, the whole time, the whole flight.
You're afraid of getting sucked out?
Well, not as that, but I don't know. I mean, they say
you ever seen?
I've never experienced turbulence where you bounce up off the ceiling.
Roof.
I've seen it in movies.
Yeah, me
I've
too.
heard about
I've
it.
heard about people that's been through it.
Yeah, and people break their necks sometimes. It can be really dangerous. I had a friend who broke her arm. She's
on a turbulence.
Oh yeah.
Whoa!
Planes
flight attendant. She's a flight attendant. She flew up and hit the top, and then hit her arm. I was on a flight. I went to Greece about a month ago or so, and we were switched over. This is always in the back of your mind too. And I try to stick with the big carriers, of course. And who were we flying? What's the Dutch airline? KLM. So KLM, we were supposed to fly a KLM from, I think we were connecting in Amsterdam to Athens, and they messed up that flight and they canceled it. So we had to fly Aegean Airways.
Oh, jeez.
I've never been on Aegean Airways. It was their plane. It was not a good experience. I'll tell you that. First of all,
What they say about the
second of all,
Airways.
usually, when you're on a flight in an American carrier, a big carrier, you kind of you can tell when they turn to miss the turbulence, or they come on and tell you.
Right.
This flight, there was so much turbulence, and my wife is a scared flyer.
Yeah.
That she was bouncing around everywhere. We were all bouncing around everywhere. It's like this captain just said, I'm not going around. I'm not telling anyone about this. We're just plowing right through it. Straight line.
They don't care about it the same way that we do as passengers because they experience it all the time.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And turbulence, you look at, if you do look up stats, turbulence, I don't know if turbulence has ever actually brought down an aircraft.
No, I think planes like to flex. And
Planes, I mean, I'm not saying that they love it, but they're definitely
built to do
They're
it.
built
They
for
flex.
it.
Yeah.
They should work on how they're building the windows, though, possibly. Maybe little shields, like little window shields. Just in case the engine falls off.
I'd say let's work on how they're building engines first, then we'll get on the windows.
Okay.
If an engine had a problem and debris took out the window, the problem wasn't the window.
Can you send me? I'll find it. I was going to have you send me a picture of this guy. I'm just
Of the
interested
guy?
to see what he looked like.
Here we go.
Do we speak does he speak the language? What language is he
Am I
speaking
logged
in?
I'm not on my
You're not
hard
logged in
drive,
right
so I don't have it. Oh, can you go to my X account? I've got it on there.
You posted a picture of him?
Yeah.
Did you post a picture of what a size of a window looks like?
Yeah.
Just so we can do a side
He's
by
right
side?
next to the window.
Is he really?
Yes.
They should let him keep it. Don't you think? The window that fell out?
That's would you want it? You would like framed like a deer head.
I want the frame.
I got the better of this window.
I would.
They tried to get me.
You can't because they will call that a settlement.
That's
Can't
no
do that.
fun.
Well, what if it's parties?
All right, well, then I would
10
take
million
it.
and the window.
I would make it part of the settlement. All right, last question for you guys. How much do you think he's going to get? American dollars. None of this euro stuff.
I don't know because lawsuits are different in Europe too, and the laws and all of that. I don't know.
Yeah. What? This was over international waters. That's going to be tricky.
Over Greece.
No, Greece to Germany. It was
This
over
is Greece
land.
to Germany. So
Yeah,
this
it was
isn't
over
like an
land.
admiralty court because
no.
I know a lot about admiralty law.
Ooh, no, it wasn't over water.
Okay.
But EU, it's the EU's involved.
The EU. That's going to be tricky.
He's Serbian.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky. It depends on what country technically that he was in at the time.
Greece.
Okay, the courts in Greece are going to be very favorable to this. I think they're going to give him a good settlement.
But the plane was registered in where?
Where was the plane registered?
Right? All
Was it
these things.
Malta or was
Better
it?
call
Well, it has
Saul,
a
buddy.
Maltese flag on it.
Right?
Okay.
So, but it's
Because-
owned by Ryanair.
Owned by Ryanair, but
it
Ryanair is an Irish company, right?
It is,
Yeah,
but
it
it
is.
is. I did check the registration. It is registered in Malta.
Okay. The courts in Ireland are not going to be favorable to something like this, just based on my most recent research. So it's going to be tough to figure out. I think
the Irish courts.
But I'd love to see his
I love
picture.
it.
People can find that on.
I got a parking ticket from Ireland, by the way.
Did you really?
I did. 2 weeks after we were home.
I could have gotten that.
I get it, and it was
I
in
could have gotten
Gaelic.
that taken away
I had to
from
get it translated. It was in Gaelic.
So is his girth then? Question for you, Esquire, Your Honor.
I accept.
Is his girth? Question of girth. Is that a defense, or is that for the plaintiffs that?
I would say it is admissible in court, but only as a thing that works in his defense. It cannot be used against him, obviously, because it might be the thing that saved his life.
Well, you said if it was his wife sitting in that seat, does she survive this?
I would use, as an attorney, which I'm not, but as an attorney, I would use that as my main argument. I would try to get away from him, whatever, and especially if he's not attractive. And I would start saying, look who could have been lost by this.
Right.
Like, he basically turned him into a hero. He saved this woman's life by getting sucked out.
He's
the
a
window.
hero. But
Everybody on the plane.
But if you're on the other side, do you argue? If he weren't so heavy, I don't think he's that heavy.
I don't.
But
What's
then,
the other side?
Objection, Your Honor. I don't think his weight had anything to do with that engine breaking and then the window breaking.
Okay. Would the plaintiffs? I don't even know what that means.
Could the engine have carried a lighter man? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, with the strain of the engine because of his weight. Is that what you're saying, Spike?
I'm just
Boy,
fishing.
that's offensive
I'm
to heavy
fishing.
people. I'm just kidding.
I can
obviously.
speak. I can speak with authority
It's
on
nice
this.
that we
anyway.
can laugh about this because
Yeah,
he's
because
so
everyone's
insane.
saying- because he's
and
fine.
because
and he walked off the plane.
He's going to be rich if he's. It depends on the lawyer.
You almost get sucked out of a plane and you survive it.
But you're going up against an airline, the legal team of an airline.
You know what they want to do? Faster than anything is make the story go away.
Yeah.
And there's a cost to that. And
Free
they're
flights.
willing to- I
Would you
guarantee
take free
they're gonna
flights?
pay.
Would you take free flights for life from an airline that almost killed you?
If they paid for a different airline,
well,
free flights on any airline you choose.
but yours.
No, and I know which attorneys in town I would hire.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I do too. For sure.
You guys are great.
All right, Luke Ducey, thank you so much. We appreciate your coverage.
All's well that lands well, right?
We have, okay, guys, we have one of the best questions of the day, which we're going to get into next. We didn't have time to get to it right
Okay,
here.
let's
But
tease it up a little bit.
Katie Wilson, she's got a fight on her hands against the Seattle City Council, who smells blood in the water.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
They want her job. Somebody on Seattle City Council wants Katie Wilson's job. Katie Wilson wants more of your money. And Seattle City Council says, hey, you know what we can do? We can step into the breach and we can protect people from her taking money. And that will give us the credit that we need to then run for the office. Because somebody wants to be mayor of Seattle.
Right.
I'm going to ask you the question of the day we're going to get to as soon as we come back, and we're going to give you guys a chance to give us your opinions on this.
Because it's rooted in another story we're going to share with you about how Seattle ranks
about your taxes.
And where Seattle ranks in places to start a business.
Yes. We'll talk about all that next. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Sunset Auto Family.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
A political shakeup for Democrats that represent Seattle.
Traffic.
Right now, Auburn to Renton at 25 minutes. That's a good 10-minute delay.
Conversation.
3 people on the floor can't cover 20 aisles of plexiglass. They're doing their best. It just doesn't work.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
And the party begins.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Wow, Sarah, these window coverings are gorgeous. Did you guys do this yourself?
No way, it's all Hunter Douglas. My local expert came to our home, brought samples, and helped us see everything in our actual light, then measured perfectly and handled the installation.
If you're planning a remodel, moving into a new home, or simply ready to elevate how your space feels, Westco Blinds, your neighborhood Hunter Douglas expert, offers custom, beautifully crafted window treatments thoughtfully designed for life. Whether it's blinds, shades, shutters, or drapes, our products fit your windows perfectly. And with smart home options, you control the light and privacy with a tap or on schedule. Hunter Douglas window treatments are an investment in quality, backed by a lifetime limited warranty and ongoing support from your trusted local expert, Westco Blinds. Call now to schedule your free in-home design consultation. Call 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
All right, I'm talking with Phil Mitchell, who is a new buddy, and he's also an advertiser on the show. Phil, I'm really interested in people's stories. You have a pretty amazing background. You own Sunset Auto Family. You employ a lot of people. You do great business in the community, but you started at the bottom. Tell me a little bit about that.
Jake, I started in the car business as a lot attendant, basically washing cars with a hose and soap and water, and just happened to, be in the right position at the right time, started selling cars and did pretty good at that and became a sales manager. And I've had a lot of great mentors that have helped me and guided me. And so now it's my turn to be a mentor and try to do the same thing for somebody else.
That's fantastic. How many years have you been in this business now?
I've been in it a long time, so I know every inch. I've done just about every job you can do in it. It's a family business. My son's in the business. He runs one of the stores.
Well, let me tell you what. I got 4 sons. One of them is looking for a job in about 4 years.
Bring him down, buddy.
I'm going to send him to the Sunset Auto Family.
I got a hose and bucket. Let's go.
I love it. Go see him at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices
down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How did you get 30, 30, bid you get 30, bid you get 20, 20, 20, bid you get 20, 20, bid you get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Frank Lindsay. A scary midair incident on board a Ryanair flight in Greece. Part of a Boeing 737's fuselage came apart, causing a window panel to dislodge. The passenger closest to the window was nearly sucked out of the plane.
According to a doctor who treated him for serious injuries to his upper body once he was safely on the ground after the plane had safely landed in hospital, and he was in hospital, effectively the wife of the passenger, the male passenger, was sitting next to him, and she was just holding onto his feet for about 5 minutes to stop him being completely sucked out of the aircraft.
That's ABC's Tom Sufi-Burridge. President Trump will let the bipartisan housing bill approved by Congress become law without his signature, saying today he's refusing to put his name on it because of the little progress made in passing a strict voter ID bill. No one claiming responsibility for airstrikes that hit Iran after the U.S. said it finished its attacks. Those strikes came yesterday, just as Iran prepared to bury its late supreme leader. A widow and his family are suing the King County Regional Homeless Authority. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports they claim the agency ignored warning signs from the man who shot and killed their loved one and her unborn daughter.
The lawsuit claims caregivers at KCRH did nothing for suspect Cordell Gooseby when he asked for help as his mental health declined, including allegedly talking about shooting people. Police say in 2023, Gooseby shot Ina Kwan as she sat at a red light, killing her and her unborn baby. The family's attorney, Julie Klein, says they also want to uncover more about the suspect's treatment.
In fact, one of the things we're seeking through this lawsuit is some answers as to why he wasn't getting the kind of services he so obviously needed.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Suspect found not guilty by reason of insanity and is still at Western State Hospital. The KCRHA says it cannot comment on pending litigation. A man wanted on weapons warrants is dead after jumping from an upper floor of a downtown Seattle apartment building last night. King County Sheriff's Office says they located the suspect near Spring and 8th Avenue. When they moved in to arrest him, he barricaded himself inside. SWAT team and crisis negotiators responded, but the man jumped from the 9th floor and later died. Revive I-5 this weekend as crews prep their work zone across the Ship Canal Bridge. Starts with a closure at midnight tonight on northbound 5 from downtown to the U District. KIRO 7's Tyra Majors tells us the freeway will reopen early Monday morning.
Northbound I-5 across the Ship Canal Bridge will be reduced from 4 lanes to 2 left lanes through the end of 2026. The work was paused during the World Cup. WashDOT says the backups depend on what drivers do.
If people adapt, if they start carpooling, if they start using transit, if they adjust their schedules, that's going to lessen the amount of traffic.
The traffic continues Monday. The express lanes will operate northbound only 24 hours a day for all Revive I-5 lane reductions through the end of the year.
Let's see what's going on with the roads right now. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic with Lori.
Frank, I just remember when they stopped that work for the FIFA, and everybody here was so happy. They're like, I got to work early.
No more of that.
Nope. Northbound 405 at 167, we have an accident. South Center to Bellevue, a 6-minute slowdown. It does look like that collision has cleared the roadway now. Southbound 5 slows from Northgate into downtown Linwood to Seattle, 29 minutes. A little bit of a slowdown approaching I-90 on northbound I-5. Seattle to Bellevue on 520 will take you 10 minutes, but I was seeing a little bit of a slowdown right at 405. That'd be eastbound 90, taking you 13 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Weather forecast calling for a high this afternoon of 74 degrees. A mix of sun clouds tomorrow up to about 71. Warm up to 75 on Sunday, 79 degrees under mostly sunny skies on Monday. It's 69 degrees right now in Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. I cannot wait to do this topic with you guys. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's good. It's our inspiration for our question of the day, which is the thing we do every day now. We're gonna give you some news stories, which are going to lead to the question, which are then going to lead to your response. And then at 1:30, we can get into the nitty-gritty of all your responses. And Spike and I have a chance to respond to all of these. So let me start with this story, which is really interesting because politically in Seattle, I think Seattle is kind of at a crossroads. They have a socialist mayor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they have more old school progressive Democrat city council members. Was that a fair explanation?
I think it's a fair descriptive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Katie Wilson wants a new tax in Seattle, and she wants to raise the city sales tax by 0.15%.
0.15%, yeah.
Yeah.
On top of what is already one of the largest, if not the largest, sales tax in the nation.
Yeah. So this
because it's one of the ways that they garner revenue, because we don't have a state income tax.
Well, we will shortly.
Well, that's
I'm
just
part, and that which is part of the story.
It is.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So if this passes, and it will eventually go to voters, she can't just raise it. It has to eventually go to voters.
Mm-hmm.
She can't raise it this amount, I should say. So it will go to voters. We'll get a chance. If this, whatever tax increase happens, it will then go to the voters to decide in November. If it passes, I think the number that I saw here is that Washington already has the third highest sales tax in the country.
It is
that
okay,
right?
Third highest. Okay. Somebody must have passed us.
So third highest in the country. And this would be, because there's also a tax increase that's happening for county roads. And it's just money and money and more money and more money.
Our gas tax just increased on July 1st.
Gas tax increases,
Yeah.
and now will continue to 2% annually for the rest of time in order to fight the gods of climate change. And people are just kind of feeling like, guys, come on now.
How about new?
How about new? That's the voice of Bob Kettle as acted through Dr. Evil. I'm not saying Bob Kettle is Dr. Evil. I'm just saying that he's a council member, Seattle City council member, who is stepping in and saying like, hey, Katie, Mayor Wilson, whoever, why do you keep trying to take people's money? Are you not reading the room? Look at all the businesses that are fleeing from Seattle and have other options. They're not locked in here as much as you might like.
And if you need proof of that, just drive Soto and take a look at the vacancy sign on the Starbucks.
On
building.
Starbucks, by the way,
Buddy.
Seattle Times had a big splashy piece today about how much Tennessee is going to benefit from Starbucks.
Yeah.
Or look up into any one of the office buildings that's 37% vacant.
The highest vacancy rate in America.
In America by double digits. And now Katie Wilson wants to propose this new sales tax on the city, and you have somebody like Bob Kettle. So my question is, from Bob Kettle, he's saying like, hey, this 0.15% is too much. Why don't we do it 0.5%? So only a third of what she's asking for. Why don't we just raise it by 0.5? I would respond to him in turn as well, and I would say this.
How about new?
How about new? Just be the guy. And if they pass these things, it's going to raise what is the number? $138. The mayor's plan would fund transit services for the next decade with an annual price tag annually of $138 million.
Yeah, you dropped an M.
Million.
Dropped 6 digits on that one, buddy.
Annually.
Yeah.
That's over $1 billion over the next 10 years. That's a lot of money. Why don't they just live within their means? Why don't they just try that? Why don't they just do the crazy thing instead of all the things that they're doing right now to scare businesses away, which then shrink your tax base, which then means that you're pulling in less money? Why don't they just try something radical and say, hey, you know what? We're not going to raise your taxes, and we're going to let you guys experience what it's like to have a little stability in your planning for your businesses going forward. And maybe in turn, businesses will repay that kindness, and they will say, hey, you know what? We feel a lot more confident doing business in Seattle than we have in the last few years. We're going to invest in Seattle instead of being scared away from Seattle. And I think that's what Bob Kettle's trying to get at. I think he should take a stronger approach and just do the no tax increase instead of 0.5%, which is what he's suggesting.
At least he's getting her into a conversation. I'm not, who knows where this is going to end. It's going to fall to the city council to decide if it goes to a public vote. It's up to us.
Yeah.
Wilson's, you always negotiate by asking for more than you want and then giving yourself room to come down. Maybe that's her plan. I don't know. She must have been getting better advice if that is her plan indeed, because she's coming out of the gate with some real inexperiential bad policy and bad decisions.
Back to the socialist thing that we started the segment with. She already is listening to somebody, not law enforcement experts or city council members. She's already listening to somebody else when she's turning off cameras.
Yeah.
And people are pretty across the board, across all the political spectrums. People are saying, hey, you know what? Actually, these cameras are pretty helpful. And they were good during the World Cup. Why are they not good now? If they're still good for the CID and they're still good for Aurora to fight the pimp wars,
I'm with you,
why are they not good here?
She listened to the loudest voices in her ear because they're on the steps of the city hall. That's why she listened to them.
Yes, which I believe are a tiny portion of the actual electorate out there.
Yeah.
So here's the question that
Well, let's give the other half of this story.
Talking about the VC thing?
Yes.
Okay. This is very interesting. And then we're going to ask the question of the day.
Because I think that gets to your question. It's a great question.
Seattle, over the last many years, has greatly benefited from being until this, especially after this millionaire's tax, this will completely vanish. But Washington, I should say, and then in Seattle, because it's the biggest city, they have really benefited from being a very fertile ground for people to come in, plant their tech seed, and watch it grow and expand. It's been a good place for them.
We're a garden.
A good, healthy garden. And Washington has benefited greatly. You look at all the businesses that have propped up Washington and kind of grown into these big, beautiful umbrella trees that then shelter Washington during these storms of economic craziness that happen around the rest of the country.
We were recession proof.
Almost.
No, wait. No, we just about were. When you looked at, we had Microsoft. We had Nintendo. And this was before Amazon even blew up.
Starbucks, all that stuff.
We had medical research, vast medical research in this region.
A lot of good industry.
We really didn't. We weathered the storm much better than most other major cities in America.
Yeah, but this new report has come out, which kind of there's a place called PitchBook, which kind of details, and we'll go out here in just a second, which details startups. So VC startups who are then getting VC funding, venture capital funding.
Yeah.
San Francisco made record deals in the first quarter of this year. They did 669 startups that found venture capital funding to the tune of $221 billion. Los Angeles, they did 189. Denver, 95. Austin, 105. Miami, 100. Washington, D.C., 83. Philadelphia, 207. Boston, 181. Seattle, only 69 to the tune of $1.5 billion.
We were dead last in major cities for startups.
As a startup hub, we're dead last. That was not the case a few years ago, where Seattle was in the top.
10 years ago, we were number 5 in the country.
And now we're dead last. These are all indicative of a local tech and larger business community that's not healthy. And the idea that she wants to put new taxes on that seems crazy to me. So here's our question of the day. If you're going to start a new business, I don't care what the business is, you can feel free to tell us. If you're going to start a new business in Washington, you have to choose a city in Washington. What city would it be in? And what reason are you choosing that city? And I'm interested in anybody out there who's aspiring to do something great.
Right.
What city would you start your business in and why? And maybe even also, where would you not start a business and why? We will read a bunch of these at 1:30. It's going to be great. Good conversation. When we come back, Spike, you want to talk about a wildlife overpass?
Sure. I'm looking forward to talking about this.
People are excited about this. All right. We'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, afternoons 2 to 7.
So the places that you want to be throughout the entire year. You want to be in Vermont for the fall. You want to be in Washington, D.C. for the cherry blossoms. And then you want to be in Seattle for about 6 weeks to enjoy a summer that you will tell everyone is the most beautiful place in the world to be. For the World Cup happening right here, it's perfect.
The John Curley Show. Subscribe to KIRO News Radio on YouTube and watch live or later.
On July 18th, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll be doing some cooking, and I'd like you to come down and see how I did. Aegis Living is having a open house at their Ballard location, July 18th at 1 o'clock, Saturday, July 18th. I'll be cooking, and against me will be Aegis president, Chef Dirk. He's also cooking. We have a little bit of a cook-off. In fact, cooks from all across the Northwest of Aegis Living facilities are coming in to show off their wares. There's going to be a wine tasting, a food tasting, $2,000 in raffle prizes. The Impalers are playing a free show at this open house. We'd love for you to join us. Open house, July 18th, Aegis Living Ballard. Go to aegisliving.com/KIRO to RSVP.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Hey, buying a used car can be stressful. Sunset Auto Family takes that stress away with a 48-hour used vehicle exchange policy. You pick it out, you drive it for a couple days. If it's not the right fit, they'll help you find one that is. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations. And save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
All right, welcome back to the show. If you guys have driven on I-90 heading east, you have probably passed under this. It's massive. The wildlife overpass. You've done this a bunch, I'm sure.
Many times.
Probably on a motorcycle.
I have. Yeah. I remember life before the overpass.
What was it like? What was it like?
You had to look out for deer.
And that's not something anyone has to do anymore?
No, we have to do constantly. Yeah.
No,
but it's yeah. It was it's funny when it first happened. I'm like, wow, that's an interesting concept. Is that really necessary?
Yeah.
But afterward, it's like, okay, I get the value of this. I understand what's going on here.
I'm not quite sure there's a value. I understand wanting to
be good to the animals.
Well,
keep drivers
unless
safe.
Unless you can teach the animals how to read a sign, they don't know to go over the bridge.
Well, they have.
Well, one bear has gone over the bridge. That's the story. Washington.
Is that the story? We finally got a bear?
That's the story. Okay. We finally got a bear on camera that went over the bridge. It's taken, how many years has this been? 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years, $6.2 million. Finally, a bear has gone over the bridge. So that's, if I'm doing stupid math, because the thing cost $6.2 million to build, that is $6.2 million per bear. Now, if a bear.
No, it's 786,000 per bear. 1/8 of 8 years for one bear. But if you're talking about how much it costs per bear, you spend 6.6. How much? You said 8.2 million per bear.
6.2 million per bear. There's been one bear that's crossed it.
Okay, no, you're right. I'm trying to defend this crazy boondoggle of a.
I want to understand what you're even saying. What are you even saying?
I divided the number by 8 years.
Why?
They spend $780,000 a year to save a bear's life.
But we've only had one bear.
Yeah, but we've had 9,300 animal crossings.
Okay.
We've had elk, cougar, beaver, bobcat, deer, and now a bear.
Yeah.
So this is wildlife. This is the habitat that we intruded upon with this at that place 8-lane freeway, freeway.
It's a nice freeway. I like it.
It's a great
nice
and they just did that whole rebuild through there
by the water.
Right by the water. Is that
Is it Cachis?
I think it's Lake Cachis. Yeah, or Coachella. I think maybe it's Lake Coachella.
Or Little Cachis.
Yeah, but we all know that it's a reservoir basically, and we've all driven past there, and you know how much they've done in that rebuild.
Yeah,
because it was remember when the little shed came over the westbound lanes for rock slides.
Yes,
remember that?
Yes.
So they've done it was a much needed massive infrastructure improvement, and in doing so,
do you think 9,300 animals, one bear, so 9,301.
9391 with
is it worth it, do you think? $6.2 million? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, when you think about the grand scheme of the budget and how much they spend on everything, I guess $6.2 million is a rounding error. They literally are, wasting money left and right.
It's 0.0062% of the total cost of the project when you do the quick math. It's a $1 billion project.
It's absolutely nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But are animals only crossing on this thing? Are they?
You think there's an immigration issue? What are you thinking?
Well, no, I'm just saying that you're spending millions and millions of dollars for an overpass.
Sure.
Are animals about to cross the road? Let's say they're 2 miles up.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a couple of elk, or an elk and a deer are on a date.
Yeah.
Do they
double
do that?
date. Yeah.
Would they do that? Would an elk and a deer? No, they wouldn't.
Couple male elks, couple female deer.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's say there's a
Who
male.
are we to judge love?
Let's say there's a male deer and a female deer, a doe and a deer, and they're standing on I-90 and they're about to cross, and they're looking, and the one says to the other who's about to cross, they go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! There's an overpass for this."
Yeah.
Do you think they're doing that?
Sure. You know how I know?
How?
because there is miles and miles of fencing along the freeway that they cannot
so they're
cross.
corralling them in.
Yeah, they've learned, taken some time.
Yeah.
A bear finally figured it out. Apparently elk, beaver, coyote, cougars are all smarter than bears.
Or they're just
there's more of them.
Less risk averse or more risk averse.
Bears are smart. Maybe bears are smarter.
Bears are like, no, I'm not doing that.
No, they've put up all this fencing because this is to first off assist wildlife in maintaining their populations, having foresting area.
Hopefully to prevent road accidents.
To prevent road strikes. Yeah, that's the thing. If you save one life for this, how much would you spend to make sure that nobody gets strikes an elk or a deer?
I don't want
in that stretch of road.
That's a tough thing to say.
Yeah.
I don't want people to die.
No, of course, not.
Obviously.
Yeah, but that's an easy straw elk for me to throw out there.
Yeah. I don't want to put a value. I fundamentally don't accept the premise of the question.
Okay. But you think we didn't need this nature bridge, that nature overpass?
I think spending $1 billion on this whole project, which is what it was, seems excessive.
But that's $6 million for the bridge.
I understand the bridge. It's part of a larger project.
You think the infrastructure itself was
the whole thing? $1 billion. It's massive.
Wow. It's wonderful.
Oh, it's really nice. It's nice to have giant things. I just don't know if it's totally a value add. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Rundown next. Stick around.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
This was a massive moment.
First, let me ask a question. Have you ever had gumbo?
Yes. Goodies.
All different flavors. Goodness. That's what 6 matches here. Everything around the stadium, something you can tell us about as well, you around the stadium, has been nothing but a big old pot of gumbo.
G and Ursula, 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Pricing coverage match limited by state law.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, I'm very happy to have Phil Mitchell from Sunset Auto Family on with me right now. And Phil, you guys offer such an amazing value for people who are driving their cars a little bit longer now. And you guys offer repairs for life. How does that work?
Basically, we're going to cover any repair we do for $250 or over for as long as you own the vehicle.
So let me ask you this question. Let's say that I buy my vehicle elsewhere. My transmission on my car breaks down. You guys fix it. 10 years later, I have the same problem. You guys are going to fix that again for no cost?
That's right. No cost to you for as long as you own the vehicle.
So why would you even offer this? This has got to be incredibly expensive for you.
You know what? We just want to keep our customers for life. So chances are if we do a repair for life and we take good care of you, you might look us up when you decide to get a new vehicle. And we want to be your lifetime dealer.
So somebody really does feel like they're part of the Sunset Auto family.
That's exactly right. We want you to be part of the family, and that's why we take good care of you.
Oil changes for life, warranty protection for life, and repairs for life. Only at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Nearly 1 in 4 people killed on the road in Washington weren't driving. Pedestrians on our roads are incredibly vulnerable, whether they're facing drunk, drugged, drowsy, or distracted drivers. Pedestrians are defenseless on our streets. That's why Davis Law Group fights for pedestrian accident victims and their loved ones after a crash. Davis Law Group delivers. So if you or a loved one have been injured, call Davis Law Group today at 206-888-8888 or visit davislawgroupseattle.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, today through Sunday. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Anthony Hamilton with Tony, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Thursday, September 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. At least 31 states are reporting cases of a single-cell parasite stomach bug. It causes frequent and long-lasting diarrhea. This does not necessarily mean all the stomach bug cases are related to the same source. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel.
Part of the issue is the lag time. When you get infected, it can be up to 2 weeks before you see symptoms. So it's hard for people to then backtrack and figure out where the source was.
No product has been identified yet as a suspected source. The U.S. is on pace to break its own measles record for the second year in a row, over 2,200 infections across 40 states, says the CDC. Demanding a transparent investigation, the family of the Mississippi teen whose body was found off of Barrier Island. Nolan Wells was last seen July 4th celebrating the holiday with friends. A royal source confirms to ABC News that for the first time in 4 years, Britain's King Charles and Camilla met today with Meghan and Harry and the grandkids. This is ABC News. A scary mid-air incident on board a Ryanair flight in Europe. A portion of the plane's fuselage came apart, causing a window panel to dislodge. The passenger closest to the window was taken to the hospital. Nobody else hurt. It happened shortly after takeoff when the flight was heading to Germany from Greece. ABC's Tom Sufi-Burridge.
According to a doctor who treated him for serious injuries to his upper body once he was safely on the ground after the plane had safely landed in hospital, and he was in hospital, effectively the wife of the passenger, the male passenger, was sitting next to him, and she was just holding onto his feet for about 5 minutes to stop him being completely sucked out of the aircraft.
The Greek aviation official says they think there was a massive rupture in the engine and debris flew out the side and hit the fuselage. Wall Street major indexes have risen and crude oil prices are lower today. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Well, it was gone for a month, but Revive I-5 is coming back. We'll tell you what to expect over the weekend and for the rest of the year right after we get a look at what's happening on the roads right now. Here's Lori.
There's a new accident. It's 520 westbound, the off-ramp to 108th. It's actually a stall, partly blocking the ramp. 405 northbound slows from 167 all the way to 900, and that's where you're going to see the southbound 405 slow down as you approach 900. Southbound I-5, pretty slow from Lake City Way now on into downtown Seattle. It's a 50-minute drive from Everett. Southbound 5 sluggish through Fife, and US 2 westbound pretty heavy as you pass 522 in Monroe. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Frank Lindsay. Now that the World Cup games have concluded in Seattle, the Washington State Department of Transportation plans to continue Revive I-5 across the Ship Canal Bridge. KIRO News Radio's Nate Connor says the closures start tonight.
All northbound lanes are going to close from I-90 up to 45th, while WashDOT crews prep the bridge for work that'll start on Monday when they reopen the bridge to the public. Now, this time, the 2 right lanes are going to be blocked as opposed to the 2 left lanes. What that means is the Roanoke on-ramp is not going to be accessible during the duration of this project, which is through the end of the year.
Only the express lanes will be open northbound on I-5. A Seattle City Council member pushing back on Mayor Katie Wilson's decision to shut off safety cameras in the Stadium District now that the World Cup matches are over in Seattle. Public Safety Chair Bob Kettle says the move breaks city law, and he's urging the mayor to reverse course. Wilson ordered the cameras be shut off Monday morning amid privacy concerns that federal agents might use the footage. Earlier this week, Seattle Police Officers Guild President Kent Liu told Jake and Spike he'd like those cameras to stay on.
Why can't we walk and chew gum at the same time? Why can't we have the cameras open and up and operational, collecting that data, but also conducting an audit at the same time?
Kettle says he's willing to work with the administration on any changes to the surveillance program. Frightening mid-air emergency over Greece after a passenger window on board a Boeing 737 shattered shortly after takeoff. As you heard on ABC News just a moment ago, one passenger was almost sucked out of the window. Luckily, had his seatbelt on, and other passengers, including his wife, held on to him. 737 is 18 years old and built at Boeing's Renton plant. Now, this comes as Boeing celebrates a new chapter in Everett, the first 737 MAX assembly line outside of Renton. Seattle Times reports the so-called North Line started running Monday in a space that used to build 787 Dreamliners. It's the fourth MAX production line. Fast-moving fire swept through Okanagan and eastern Washington and has now burned more than 2,900 acres. Flames were sparked yesterday. Level 2 Be Ready evacuation orders are in effect. Meanwhile, a $25,000 reward being offered for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of whoever started the Chelan Hills fire near Orondo last weekend. That blaze, investigators believe, was human-caused. It's burned about 10,000 acres, killed one person, and destroyed homes. It's 95% contained. Chelan Valley Hope, meanwhile, organizing both donations and volunteers to help those affected by the fire. If you want to help, there is a link at mynorthwest.com. Red flag warning will be flying east of the Cascades starting tomorrow morning. Low humidity and gusty winds mean high fire danger across most of central and eastern Washington. Meteorologist Steve Bodner says you need to do your part to be safe.
Definitely pay attention to the local burn bans depending on which county you're in. Most likely a lot of counties have burn bans in place already.
Warning will be in effect from noon tomorrow until 11 o'clock tomorrow night. And that weather forecast for the Seattle area, partly cloudy. Later this afternoon, about 74 degrees. Mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, 71. Partly cloudy, 75 on Sunday. And we warm up to 79 on Monday. It's 70 right now in Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
All right, welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours left to go. We got a lot of great stuff today. We got the 1 o'clock rundown, which we're going to get into right now. The three biggest stories from coast to coast, which we're going to... One of them is semi-local, connected to that Ryanair flight, which we're going to get to in just a second. At 1:30, we're going to have we have a very vigorous response to our question of the day, which people can still get in. If you were going to start a business somewhere, which city would you choose and why? You can give us positives about the city you're choosing, or you could give us negatives about where you don't want to put it. We're fine with either. Also, we have a great guest at 2 o'clock out of Pasco. Pasco City Council is did pass an ordinance.
Yeah.
They're trying to protect local residents there from the long arm of Olympia into your pocketbook against the income tax.
The millionaire's tax, yeah.
So what can they do to stop it? We'll talk with them about it at 2 o'clock. It's going to be interesting. And then, of course, we're going to have last call at 2:45. All your text messages. All right, let's get into some of this stuff. The three big stories say, we'll talk about all these in this order. We're going to do the Ryanair stuff, which we've got more audio on. Then we're going to do this housing bill, which Trump is saying he's not going to sign. It's not going to stop it from becoming law, but he's not going to sign it.
Exactly.
And we'll tell you why. Yeah. And then finally, we have more on the Graham Plattner stuff as that deadline to drop out on Monday gets closer and closer and closer. He has to drop out by Monday. We'll talk about all that stuff.
Yeah, my yesterday prediction, he'd be gone by 3 o'clock today. Doesn't look like it's going to hold up.
Well, it's going to be very interesting because we'll get into all this.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's start with Ryanair.
Let's start with Ryanair. There was a passenger who was flying from Greece en route to, where is this?
In Germany.
Memmingen. Memmingen, Memmingen, Germany. And apparently, one of the engines has an issue. It shoots off something, which then knocks off part of the plane, which hits the window, and the window comes off.
Pops out.
Yeah. Really, like, it's the only thing that you want a window to do is to not pop out.
Yeah.
There's only one function of a
window.
window.
We don't ask much.
I don't even need a window to, like, really be see-through. I don't even mind if it's, like, covered in little like a handprint.
It's an added value, but not letting me get sucked out of the plane is job one.
Just stay in your place.
Right.
Do what windows do. Stay there.
Yeah, maybe a little natural lighting's nice, right?
It's nice to have a view.
Maybe a view of a cloud.
It's better to have a view inside the plane.
Yeah.
Not outside.
Better to stay inside the plane.
So this 61-year-old Serbian guy, he's sitting there. Just imagine how crazy this would be. You're sitting there. You hear I don't even know if it's one of those situations where you hear a noise and then...
Reports are they heard a bang.
They heard a bang.
They heard a bang because, again, the part of the engine... I don't know if it exploded, but broke apart.
Something broke.
Hit the fuselage, which came apart, which took out that section of the window.
Yeah.
Allowed it to spring out of its frame.
Can you imagine his wife? She looks over and top of your husband's body just...
And it gets sucked out of the plane. He's sitting in the window seat and he gets sucked out of the window.
Yeah.
And it happened...
20,000 feet.
Bang, bang. I was going to try,
Bang, bang.
It's an instantaneous reaction.
That's what I was thinking.
You
It's like,
hear
how
a
fast?
noise, all of a sudden that window's gone, and it's not like a slow pull. You are sucked out of that plane.
To suck a human body out of a window must be an incredible pressure.
Head and shoulders were outside the window. Right.
Sucked out.
And without
he's alive.
He's alive.
So we thank God.
Yeah, without passengers and his wife holding on to him, they think his whole body would have been sucked out of that opening.
Insane. This is a little bit from ABC News. Listen to this.
A crazy mid-air scare. One of the windows on that airplane completely blown out. And we've spoken to a doctor who treated the man sitting in the window seat, who was effectively sucked partially out of that window. And the doctor who's treating him on the ground in a Greek hospital shortly after the plane had safely landed said that it was only because of his wife, who basically grabbed onto his feet and held him for about 5 minutes to prevent him being completely sucked out of that window.
He's going to be doing a lot of chores around the house for a long time to pay that back. Don't you think?
The plane was an hour into its flight, just past an hour into the flight at 20,000 feet.
Yeah.
They had to then descend to 6,000 feet. They pulled him in. The plane safely landed. I was thinking, boy, that is a testament to a happy marriage and love.
That's a happy marriage.
That's a loving wife, because she had the power,
and nobody would have blamed her.
I mean,
who could have proven it?
Right.
Who could have proven it?
And the payout would have been huge.
Yeah. And she cut some dead weight. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Sounds like they're in love, so that's nice.
So he's got that going, which is nice, and a payday,
which is nice.
I mean, we laugh
really
because
crazy.
We laugh because tragedy was averted because of her actions and other passengers who had to hold. I mean, I didn't realize they had to hold on to this guy for 5 minutes while the plane, lowered.
So you can never get descended.
I don't know why.
You don't know. It's like I can never remember, and even as I'm saying, I'm trying to remember the name of it. English muffins is a word that I cannot.
Okay.
It won't instantly come.
I don't know what the blockage is caused by.
There's a blockage of English muffins in my head.
There's a fat guy blocking the pathway of my brain.
Yes, you can't say descended. I can't say English muffins. My wife does all the time, and we do a lot of English muffin talk in my house. I do. I can't ever remember it. It's become a joke now.
You have English muffin
not that
trauma.
funny, but I do. So, what happened in your childhood? My trauma's a lot better than this guy's. If my worst thing is I don't remember English muffins, he can't get on a plane again for the rest of his life without
that's
being
a great question. Do you get right back on
Sir,
the
do you want
horse,
a window
as they
seat?
say?
I'm good.
I'm good.
No, thank you.
I'm sitting front row.
Aisle,
sitting middle
please.
aisle, first class, free drinks.
His wife notices that he puts her next to the window. She's like, what's going on here? What are you doing?
It was a Boeing-made, Ryanair-owned,
it almost feels
Malta Air managed aircraft.
People are interested in Boeing because it's local, and we obviously people are interested in that part of the story. But the context is it's an 18-year-old plane.
Right.
They've been operating it for years and years and years. Those
Yeah.
planes are on average they're flying just thousands and thousands of times.
Tens of thousands. Yeah.
The lifespan on one of these planes is about 25 to 30 years, depending on how you use it.
Just past half of its life expectancy. At that point, you got to wonder, it's got to be, is it a maintenance issue? The beauty of this thing is we'll know. They do such a great job forensically examining air incidents.
I wish they did a better job on the windows.
Well, Yeah, and you remember when the door blew out of the Boeing plane? We found it was because some bolts had been.
I don't remember that. What happened?
Some guy's iPhone was found on the ground still working.
And it worked.
And that one.
That's a good ad.
Great commercial for iPhone, not so much for Boeing.
Not so much for Boeing, yeah.
So they'll look in to see if there was a construction design issue that led this to happen.
Clearly something
happened.
It sounds to me like something on maintenance. If it was engine related.
Is it design? Is it structure? Is it maintenance? That's what they'll have to figure out.
Here's a little bit more from ABC News.
Senior Greek aviation officials told ABC News they believe there was a major rupture in the engine on the right-hand side of the plane, and debris from that engine flew up and smacked into the fuselage and basically blew out the window. It is similar to an incident back in 2018, a deadly incident involving a Southwest Airlines aircraft, and now air accident investigators, including Boeing, it was a Boeing aircraft, will investigate.
That's horrible. Ah, so scary. How long would it take you, serious question, how long would it take you to get back on a plane?
I thought it was going to take me to get home because I'm not going by plane.
Well,
yeah.
So you're sitting on a plane.
Boy.
Something happens. You almost get sucked out. Your wife holds on to you, saves your life.
I think the possibility of never flying again is unacceptable to me.
Really?
So I'm getting right back on the plane. I'm getting right back in as fast as possible. I'm almost flying home. I want to get over that fear immediately.
Yeah. I did that once. It wasn't the same thing, but I had a plane that was grounded.
Troubled flight?
It got hit by multiple strikes of lightning.
Oh, wow.
And then, which I thought happened all the time, but apparently it's not happening all the time.
Okay.
And I was in L.A., and we took off. Pop, pop, pop. It felt like somebody smacked the side of the plane three times.
While we
were there in flight.
Wow.
All the electronics shut off, which is why they landed the flight. And we had to get off, and they tried to fix the plane. They couldn't do it, and then they had to reboard us onto a different plane. And I made an inquiry, even though it was 11 o'clock at night, I made an inquiry with a local car rental place. So I'm like, I'm going to drive back. I'm not getting on a plane. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
But I ended up getting on it because I had that same thought process. I said, if I don't get back on this horse, then I'm just a guy who doesn't ride horses.
Right. You can't imagine living
and I'm
in
a cowboy.
World. There you go.
I don't, and my horse was on that plane. And so I wasn't going to let him fly alone. He's very skittish.
Okay. Oh, I thought you. Never mind.
No.
I'm not letting that go. Our next story.
This housing bill story. Did you see this?
I did see this.
This is one of those things where, like, I would see this this was on every major news site, top of the fold. Everybody's clicking on this thing. And when I saw it, I just kind of went, I know the details now, so I actually do find it interesting now. But it's one of the biggest national stories, but it's not one that necessarily we would see and think, oh, this is something we got to click on. But there's a bipartisan housing bill.
Yeah.
It's called the Road to Housing, 21st Century Road to Housing Act.
Exactly. One of the largest bipartisan pieces of legislation passed in the last 10 years.
It's also one of the largest titles of a bill.
Yeah,
shrink it down.
Road's got to stand for something. It's the Road to Housing Act.
21st Century Road to Housing Act.
Yeah.
And it's bipartisan. Trump is not signing it. Why is he not signing it?
President Trump refused to sign this because he was trying to hold it hostage because he wants Congress to pass his SAVE Act. He said that from the Oval Office.
Yeah.
The problem is this thing was...
which is the voting stuff.
The voting stuff.
Yeah.
This had like 350 votes out of 435 in the House plus.
Sure.
And 85 to 15 in the Senate. Overwhelming majority. A veto-proof majority.
Sponsored by a Republican and a Democrat.
Yeah, bipartisan.
Tim Scott and Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah. It limits the amount of homes that big investment companies can own at like 350. Part of the issues with housing affordability is these big groups are coming in, buying thousands and thousands of houses, driving up the market price, turning them into rental property. So it caps that.
I know that that's happening. I've looked into this. Do you know what the percentage of houses on the market that are owned by these large institutions?
It's a relatively small number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's less than 1%.
Yeah, but it does affect.
Which is not nothing.
Right. It does affect housing prices.
It does affect housing prices, but it is less than 1%. I mean, the vast majority of homes are owned by just people.
By people, over 99%. But there are 30 different elements to this bill. If, for example, it streamlines regulations.
Oh, I like it. I read a bunch about it.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of great things, and that's why it's such overwhelming support. The president with... Go ahead.
I was going to say, restricts large institutional investors, which we were just talking about. Right. Streamlines environmental review.
Right.
So that they don't get bogged down. We've talked about this. You want to build a house in Seattle versus Bellevue? That's a 4 or 5 month difference in just the application process, because they have all these different reviews that are required for Seattle because of their politics that are not required in Bellevue. So houses get built faster, and then as a result, you can have more houses being built. If you have more supply, it makes everything cheaper.
$200 million,
they're hoping to do that.
$200 million annually in a grant program that will help local municipalities, communities, governments, tribal governments ease restriction and zoning laws. A lot of times we say that people have so many different permits and requirements because that's how they make their money. They got to get their beak wet in the building and design process.
Sure.
This allows government money to take those permitting requirements out of the mix.
Yep.
Saves us time, saves us money. It's got so many great things. But
they're offering bonuses for local, so federal dollar bonuses through their housing whatever
grant
program.
programs.
For speeding up the process.
Yes.
So if you build faster, if you can show that you are building faster and that the application process has gotten shorter for people, you actually get more federal dollars like pushed into your local system.
Yes.
Which is great. Everybody wants that.
It's got a ton of great upsides for the average American. The president was trying to refuse to sign it so the SAVE Act would get, more attention. He wanted to force.
But it becomes law tonight.
It becomes law because they've got a veto-proof majority.
Well, because so when one of these things gets to the president's desk, they got 10 days. He can either send it back, or he can not sign it.
Sign it or veto it or not sign it.
If he doesn't sign it, it becomes law automatically after, is it 10 days?
10 days.
And if he signs it, then obviously it becomes law.
It becomes law immediately, yeah. But if he vetoes it, it's got to go back and they've got to vote again. But they've got such overwhelming numbers, he wouldn't be able to sustain a veto.
So it'll pass.
It'll pass.
All right. So we're good on that one?
And he's refusing to sign it still out of ceremonial purposes.
Sure.
We're good on that. That's what happened. It's great news for all Americans who want to build or someday buy.
Build, baby, build. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Let's get to Grant Plattner. This is very interesting stuff. I am watching with great amusement as all of these Democratic contenders are now stepping up to replace Grant Plattner.
Mm-hmm.
They are doing interviews. They are on local and national news stories being interviewed about what kind of candidate they will be. They're essentially running a senatorial campaign in 5 days.
Yeah.
Which they have to do in order to get on the, to make their impression before whoever has decided to get that spot on Monday.
Plattner's they don't have to have a candidate by Monday. Plattner's got to drop out by Monday to open up the process of the Democratic Party having the ability to hold a convention.
I was under the impression that they had to rename. I thought they had to name a candidate by Monday. Is that not the case?
I don't think. I may be wrong, but I don't think that's the case. Because they have designated over 500 delegates. They're going to have a convention to let the delegates pick a nominee from the Democratic Party to run for Senate in that seat.
But when is that supposed to meet? When are those delegates supposed to meet?
I think it's sometime next week, later in the week, but he has to be out by, I think the only Monday deadline is that he has to withdraw. If he doesn't withdraw by Monday, he's the guy no matter what, and they can't replace him. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
We'll find out.
Yeah. It's because they're going to hold a convention.
Here's the thing. He has not dropped out.
That's the issue.
I think there's a very, very good chance. I think there's I'd say more than a good chance. I'd say it's more than 50%.
Wow.
All he has to do to drop out, he sends a letter to the Secretary of State saying that I'm withdrawing my name from the race, but they need his signature and they need it in writing.
Yeah.
How long does it take to write a letter, even if you're Grant Plattner?
Well, it's funny because when you first offered that perspective, I'm thinking you're nuts. There's no way this guy stays in the race. And you brought up some really great possibilities. Is he looking for? He's got some leverage. He said publicly
he's got to get something
for
out
me
of this.
For me to step out. And I think what he's asking actually is pretty reasonable and fair and pretty smart. In so much that I want a candidate who has the same priorities and sensibilities that my voters voted for.
Which are all these horrible allegations against him.
No. He didn't run on I'm a creep. He ran on, more the working man, the oysterman, the whole 9 yards. He had a very appealing candidacy to a certain element of Maine voters.
Yeah, even though it was facade, but yes.
It was facade, but he was running all these platitudes and all these goals and priorities.
Yeah.
He wants a candidate that represents those same goals and priorities because that's what the people voted for, was this agenda. Not so much the man, but this agenda.
Do you think that, so he got like 158,000 votes or whatever the number was, a record number.
He blew the sitting governor out of this race.
Jana Mills.
She dropped out because this guy was just on fire.
She's also one of the most boring people in the world. So he's actually like an interesting type of guy.
He's a dynamic guy.
Even if he's, a fake guy, but he's
completely false. Yeah.
But he is a different type of a character.
Yes, exactly.
Do you think that those 155, 158, whatever the 1,000 people that voted for him, are they going to be satisfied with a closed room of delegates just appointing somebody into that position who's not voted in by the people?
That's the right question.
It's a Kamala thing.
It's the right question to ask because
2.0.
Because Kamala. That's the main concern of the Democratic Party of Maine is that he's convinced these people that the machine pushed me out.
Yeah.
They're false accusations. They don't want people like us to have a voice in government. If he keeps
his message is landing, by the way.
If he keeps blowing that horn, which is complete bull. He's a creep. He's denying all these allegations, and they're credible allegations.
Well, why are they coming up now? They've been out there. People did not care about them. Why do they suddenly care about them now?
Well,
they've been out there for months.
The story came to light very recently because the New York Times, 2 reporters didn't do their job. They had a witness come forward. They didn't take it seriously. They didn't vet the woman.
But what I'm saying is all the other stuff. You add that to the Reddit post, to all the other stuff.
The adultery, the sexting, all that stuff.
All that stuff.
All that stuff.
Why is that stuff now becoming this thing where he now has to step away when that wasn't a week and a half ago?
Yeah.
All that stuff was still true, and people knew about it, and they didn't care.
There's a level of bad decision making. There's a level of immorality. There's a level of
But they didn't care about that before.
Because aggravated sexual assault, rape. That was
already out there.
That was a bridge too far, but it wasn't vetted. It wasn't thoroughly vetted.
It was
properly
ignored
vetted.
because
that's
they
what
didn't,
I'm saying.
They did, but it was vetted and it was ignored because they didn't care about it because they wanted the power.
Yeah.
And when his poll numbers started diving, then they said, we only got 5 days to replace this guy.
Okay, so you think there's an inside job? You think there's something to what he's saying about the party wanted him out?
Do I think the party wanted him out?
Yeah.
I think he's.
I mean,
I find his character to be detestable, and why I find the things that he stands for, 180-degree opposite from what he stands for.
Okay.
I think he is right that the Democratic Party stepped in and said, we want to replace this guy because he's not the guy we want.
He's not.
But he is the guy that they voted for.
Yeah, but they didn't know. They didn't know it was this bad.
They did know.
I don't think so.
How did I know and they didn't know?
Because you believe anything you read. I'm kidding.
All the things that that they say about him, I
guess they tipped the scales. It became too much to overcome.
Maybe that might be it. All right, we got your question of the day. We're going to get to next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
State Senator Jamie Peterson drafted one of the state's most progressive taxes to date, the income tax on millionaires.
Engaging conversation.
We pay teachers the 4th highest of any state in the country.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
The Seahawks, they're bringing it home again.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, we all know that the oil market is volatile. Nobody knows what an oil change is going to cost next year, let alone 5 or 10 years from now. But with Sunset's oil changes for life, it doesn't matter. Jake Skorheim here. I want you to do some math with me. Let's say you need 5 oil changes a year. Average cost right now, it's about $100. It's about $150 a piece. Closer to $200 if you're using diesel. That's somewhere between $750 and $1,000 a year. Now multiply that by 10 years. You're looking at $7,500 to $10,000 in savings, and that's before prices going up. I'd rather spend that money on my family, not my vehicle. Every dealer pays basically the same price for their inventory. Nobody's handing out $10,000 discounts at signing, but Sunset Auto Family is through their oil changes for life. They've even got a customer with a 1985 Chevy who's had now more oil changes than he actually paid for the original truck. He's got more in oil change value. That's how long Sunset's been doing this. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, want to consider Aegis Living Respite Care, a short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible considerable amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Did you know every qualifying vehicle at Sunset Auto Family comes with oil changes for life? That's about $150 each, and you get up to 5 a year, saving you thousands over the life of your vehicle. Visit our friends at Sunset Auto Family. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. A frightening midair emergency over Greece after a passenger window on board a Boeing 737 shattered shortly after takeoff. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey says one passenger almost flew out the window.
A window on board the Ryanair 737 smashed by debris after reported engine failure. A Serbian man, his head and shoulders sucked through the window at 20,000 feet going 450 miles per hour, saved by his seatbelt and fellow passengers clinging to his legs. It all comes on the heels of 2 fatal 737 MAX crashes and a door plug blowout on a flight 2 years ago, and Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg testifying about safety improvements to a Senate committee.
We're seeing very good improvement in the overall quality of the fuselages.
The pilots were able to land safely. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
No confirmed cases in Washington yet, but an outbreak of a foodborne infection has spread to at least 31 states, sickening some 3,000 people. It's called cyclosporiasis. Health officials believe it may be linked to contaminated fresh produce. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel says symptoms can last weeks.
Fortunately, this can be treated with an antibiotic if you do get symptoms and you go to a doctor and you get tested. But still, this is very painful for the people who have been experiencing, including several reports of those who have had symptoms for a prolonged period of time.
At least 86 people have been hospitalized. The state is taking Albertsons to trial on Monday. The Washington Attorney General's office accusing the grocery chain's pharmacies of fueling the state's opioid crisis. AG Nick Brown says between 2006 and 2022, Albertsons dispensed more than 640 million opioid pills statewide. He claims more than 6.5 million prescriptions had red flags that were not cleared before they were filled. That trial is expected to run through early September. And we turn now to the closing bell report. Solid gains on Wall Street. The Dow up 150, NASDAQ gained 74, S&P 500 up 32 points. After nearly 20 years of business, the Lake Forest Bar and Grill is shuttering its doors after Sunday. Located in Lake Forest Park's town center, the grill featured classic American food. Say the closure is due to what many independent restaurants are facing in this current climate, a crippling series of ongoing financial challenges. Takes us to 1:34 now. We have Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by Global Credit Union. Southbound I-5 at State Route 18, we have a collision in the HOV lane. Tacoma now to Federal Way, a 14-minute drive. Southbound 405 slows between the lake bridges, and northbound 405 pretty heavy through Renton, making your drive to Bellevue 21 minutes. Southbound I-5 slows into Seattle from about Lake City Way now, a 14-minute slowdown from Linwood as you head into downtown Seattle. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Your forecast now calling for sunshine today. Mostly cloudy for tomorrow with highs in the low 70s and mid-70s and sunshine on Sunday. Right now, 73 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Earlier today, we were talking about a couple of stories that led to our question of the day. One of them is that Katie Wilson in Seattle wants to raise the sales tax, which would make it then one of the most, if not the most expensive sales tax in the country. If it passes.
It's third highest currently, I believe.
If she gets what she wants.
Yeah, she wants 0.15% increase to the sales tax in Seattle.
Yeah, just leave people alone. Let them keep their money, for crying out loud.
And was a kiddo that offered a counter, maybe, how about 0.05? A third of what you're asking for?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
He's trying to be more reasonable.
Yeah.
I wish he would just say, how about we just don't commit to raising any taxes? How about we commit to not raising any taxes? That would be great.
Yeah.
And then we had this other story, which was interesting. There's a company that documents all the different startups.
Yes.
In tech hubs around the country. So your Seattle's, your San Francisco's, Los Angeles has a bunch of startups.
They listed the top 10 cities for venture capital investment.
Yes. Seattle is last on the list. And
that's a newer development.
That's a newer development.
Just 10 years ago, we were top 5.
Just as a comparison, San Francisco in the first quarter of this year, they did 669 venture capital deals, somewhere to the tune of like $221 billion for San Francisco. And there's a lot of reports about San Francisco actually really getting a handle on their homeless and drug problem.
Yes.
Because they're doing something that's really crazy, and they're locking up people who are doing illegal things.
They want accountability.
Isn't that
factored in?
Yes.
San Francisco. We're not talking about red America.
No, we're talking about a very liberal mayor.
Yes.
Who's saying like, hey, you know what? There's a lot of things you can be liberal about, but letting people do drugs, open air drugs, not one of them. Not great.
Ain't nothing humane about that.
Yes. So they've started locking up and arresting people for doing illegal things, and the city is actually making huge improvements.
They've cut their numbers in half down there.
So they have 669, which is a record for them.
Investments,
$221 billion first quarter. Seattle has 69 to the tune of like $1.5 billion.
Right. And when we bring up San Francisco, because of that mentality in Seattle, which has led to rampant drug addiction, rampant street crime, that's a factor in where you want to start your business.
Yep. So we posed a question out there. We said if you were going to start a new business, it doesn't have to be a tech business, but if you were any business you're interested in starting, where would you start it and why? Like, would taxes scare you away? For a lot of people, it would, but would taxes scare you away? Let me start here. Jerry in 206 says Seattle. That's all he said. He would pick Seattle as a place to start a business.
Sometimes, location, right? Isn't that what they say? Sometimes location is everything. If you're going to start a business, then you need to be in Seattle, right? Maybe ask people, what would it take? If you got a business and you want to be in Seattle, that's your goal. What would the mayor need to do? What do you want the mayor to know?
It depends on the business for sure. If you're running a hot dog stand, you want to make sure that you're near where a lot of people are. So you're probably going to look for the Stadium District.
You probably are.
In Seattle.
But can you make that kind of money in Everett?
Probably not.
Probably not, but can you make enough? These are all factors.
But if you're going to start a business that's largely online, you can do that anywhere.
Right. That's
so
what
why are you going to
right.
pay? You got the jumpstart tax. You got the high sales tax that all your employees, everybody's going to pay. You got all these different taxes.
Well, you got employees and you're coming into your work. You want to be able to get into town on time?
Sure.
Want their cars to be safe while they're here?
Absolutely.
Want them to be able to go out and grab lunch around the office without getting accosted?
Yep. Here's another one. Mark in 425 says Bellevue. All day. He says it's great on taxes. Plus, he doesn't have to worry about clearing overnight campers. I think he's talking about homeless people. Doesn't have to worry about clearing overnight campers from his business entrance. Bellevue is also interesting because Bellevue will they are pretty favorable on taxes. They're pretty good on taxes. They don't have some of the Seattle taxes, which are chasing people away. I saw an interview once with the mayor of Bellevue who basically just said, we're just kind of sitting around waiting to see what Seattle does, and then we're advertising the opposite. And they're collecting thousands of jobs.
Yeah.
They're just literally, because what is it, over the bridge, a mile and a half?
And nowadays, your employees can live over here.
They can take
and
a train.
work over there, take train over there. You
Or they don't even have to live here. They could live in Bellevue and work in Bellevue if they want to. You want to read this one from Andy in Black Diamond?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Andy says, I would never start a business in Washington again. I started my business in Washington 25 years ago because it was a beautiful, vibrant city. I think of moving it every single day. I hate the business climate here right now. I would go to Arizona in a heartbeat, and I still may pick up my business and leave. The politics here are pushing people like me out every single day. We have 20-plus very well-paid employees, and they'd be out of work unless they move with me. And we hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, honestly, that's a fairly familiar refrain.
When the state was proposing the millionaire's tax, we had a car dealership up in Snohomish who came and said, look, I represent 20-plus businesses in the Snohomish community. And we all have written a letter together to the governor.
Please don't do this.
Saying,
this is going to hurt.
This we're on such thin margins. We got a story coming up later on about a popular restaurant that's closing down because it's unaffordable to do business in this town anymore.
It's tough.
It's labor costs. It's red tape. It's taxation. It's regulation. It's the whole 9 yards. It's the environment your business is supposed to thrive in.
Yeah.
With regard to, the look, how does your city look?
Sophia in 360, she says, how close can I get to the Idaho border and still qualify for your question of the day? I think as long as it's in Washington State.
Sure,
that's all we said. Just a city in Washington State.
Where would you start your business?
So if she's trying to get close, what is that, Spokane? I guess that would be Spokane.
Spokane,
the biggest, closest city to Idaho border.
Yeah.
She says it's not just city costs. The entire state feels like it's squeezing us for every penny.
If you're running a pub, I'd suggest Pullman. Just,
a pub, a pub in Pullman could be interesting.
Yeah.
Although it's probably seasonal.
College town. There's always
people in
always
college town?
pub business in Pullman.
I used to live in Pullman. I went to Pullman for a short time, and I remember staying over summer one time.
Yeah.
To complete some classes.
Off season. Yeah.
And it was like the difference between off season and school season.
Yeah, I bet
the town grows by fivefold or something.
That's fair.
Luke in 253. Ocean Shores, he says, better taxes plus a beach vibe. That's nice.
Yeah.
Probably open a kite shop. I think they've got a lot of those, Luke. I don't know if...
Hey, if that's his dream, don't squash a man's dream.
Or maybe a side-by-side, or maybe he would rent side-by-sides.
I won't pick Seattle because
drive on the beach.
The taxation, the crime, and the wind, the buildings block the wind. Good point.
Where would you, if you were going to start a business, where would you start it?
Oh, bud.
You can say Seattle. That's fine.
No.
You might be somebody who says like, "Hey, I need a high volume of people." That could be Seattle.
I like a small town vibe. I love Seattle, but I like a small town vibe. If I could plop it anywhere, I'd be on the coast somewhere, maybe in the islands somewhere.
That'd be nice.
Maybe Paulsbo. somewhere in that neck of the woods.
Sure.
Camano Island's beautiful.
Friday Harbor.
Go start a little restaurant, little pub, little bed and breakfast, whatever. Little brew pub.
Yeah.
I'd love to be up in the
small towns. If you can survive the economics of it, like if you can actually
that's the
make
thing.
money.
Is there enough of a
small towns to me is the ultimate draw.
Right.
Like when I'm walking downtown in Snohomish, and I'm just sitting there, and my wife are walking down there, and we're looking at like antique shops or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It just feels good to just have I can walk from one end of the town to the other in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
That's something nice.
But some businesses need
But some they need higher foot
1,000
traffic.
people a day to come through and make it worthwhile. Yeah.
Which is why we still have a lot of people wanting to invest in Seattle.
Absolutely.
And hopefully, if Bob Kettle gets his way and Katie Wilson doesn't get hers, then it'll be easier for businesses to keep building. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around, Spike. What do we got next?
Well, we got a mom with some advice for her son, because we all watched her son struggle.
Is he famous?
He's a very famous young man.
All right, we'll get to it next. Stick around.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Folks, Integrity Roofing and Construction are friends of mine. I say that because I trust them to come to my home and take a look at my roof and see if I need any repairs. Their suggestions told me it was time for a brand new roof, and they did a wonderful job at my house. They're your trusted local roofing team. Summer's here. Is your home properly insulated? They can tell you. Did you survive the rainy season? Did you have a leak you didn't know about? They can tell you. Schedule a free roof assessment, free video inspection today. They do phenomenal work. The reviews are on the website to prove it. Mine's among them. IntegrityRC.com is the website, IntegrityRC.com or 206-202-ROOF.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event going on right now through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, my family's been committed to doing what's right. At Wilcox Family Farms, that means caring for our hens with healthy pasture environments and a diet of organic grains and flax seeds. It's how we produce eggs that are wholesome, flavorful, and good for you. Next time you're at an egg case in your local store, we hope you feel good about choosing Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. And Bob, just like me, you had a hip problem. You were recommended surgery. Why did you go see Dr. Wagner first?
I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff.
So you had stem cell on your hip. How does it feel now?
I can do a lot of things I could not do prior to this procedure, and I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now. And I've had friends that have gone to see Dr. Wagner. They had the same experience, whether they were dealing with a hip, a knee, an elbow, a shoulder. Everybody walking out of there feels like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Before you choose surgery, do what Bob and I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, buying a used car can be stressful. Sunset Auto Family takes that stress away with a 48-hour used vehicle exchange policy. You pick it out, you drive it for a couple days. If it's not the right fit, they'll help you find one that is. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
If you're hurt in a car accident, call Harold Car Law Offices right away. They'll save you time and get you more money from insurance while you're able to focus on recovering. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
Get any size high-efficiency AC for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront cost. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service includes lifetime repairs and annual maintenance at no extra charge. Book your free estimate at cmheating.com today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
All right, welcome back to the show. If you get super depressed talking about baseball when we're losing, this is not the segment for you. Although this one is kind of fun because the headline of this story is so great. Seattle Times had this. Cole Young's mom wishes that she had challenged his final called strike the other night, which was really funny. Here was the pitch that ended. This ended the game, right?
Yes.
It ended the game, and the frustration here is that I believe they had challenges left, and he doesn't challenge what really, for a lot of people, looked like a bad call. And if he had challenged it,
we may have lived to swing another day.
Maybe he's not allowed to challenge it. We don't know the inner mechanics of who's allowed to challenge calls.
Yeah.
It's possible.
That's a good point.
This is what that sounded like, and then we're going to talk about what Cole's mom said.
Huge improvement for Cole Young against the heater this season. Can you find a fastball over the plate?
You can hear it. That's our buddy Aaron, and he's like, "There's no challenge." You can hear the surprise.
The Marlin mascot put both its fins next to its ears and went, "What?"
He goes, "I challenge that."
Everybody.
He actually spoke for the first time.
Yeah, everybody.
Why aren't you challenging that? He says in Marlin.
And Cole's mom even said, "I kind of wish you'd have challenged that."
Yeah,
kind of. To your point, I think every player should have the green light.
Just.
If it's the last, I mean, like if
it's a game-ending called third strike,
they don't do any good in your pocket. You don't get an extra one tomorrow because you didn't use all three today.
They don't hold over. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And Cole Young's a young player. Okay, I get it on him. That's an inexperienced guy right there. Okay, but there's a guy in the dugout with tons of experience.
Who?
A leader of men.
Who?
A skipper, one might call him. A guy who sat behind the plate for a long time.
Who knows what a good pitch looks like?
How come Dan Wilson didn't challenge yet?
Great question.
I mean, maybe Cole Young doesn't know he's got the green light to tap at the helmet and give me a challenge here.
Let me ask you a question about Dan Wilson. There's a lot of conversations happening around Dan Wilson right now, and I think there's only one. Really, it's the same conversation. Do the Mariners hang on to this guy? Is it even fair? Let me ask you this side question.
Great question.
Is it even fair to even talk about Dan Wilson getting the boot when they almost got to the World Series last year?
Yeah, exactly.
Or is that just too much? That's too much of an emotional swing.
How much rope does that buy him? How much time does that buy him?
You would think a fair amount.
Here's a guy with one of the strongest rosters in all of baseball.
Yeah.
A pick to win the West easily, to walk away from the West.
Promising young talent.
Right. Expectations this year were anything short of a World Series this year is a disappointing season.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things Dan Wilson does are, everybody's a great Monday morning quarterback or Monday morning manager, whatever you want to call it. Hindsight's 2020. But the scrutiny of why didn't you? He's been accused of being too regimented in a system, playing by the book, playing the safe numbers. He's got no gut to go to. A lot of people say about Dan Wilson. He's always trusting the righty, lefty, righty, whatever. He reads the numbers and plays that way. And he's a relatively new manager. He's a relatively inexperienced manager.
Yeah, but he's been around the game for a long time.
Been around the game a long time, but most managers come up through to get to the bigs. They manage at AAA. They manage at AA.
Sure.
They ride buses.
Yeah.
They spend a long time learning the managing game. Dan's got experiential knowledge of the game, but he was a broadcaster for a while.
Yeah.
He's a favorite of the organization. He even had phenomenal success. How much of it was the roster and how much of it was Dan? And how much just getting one pitch basically from going to a World Series for the first time in franchise history, how much time and rope does that buy you?
How funny is this, though, with Cole Young's mom, who he says, this is from the Seattle Times thing. So he gets the call, third strike. He goes in, he goes into the locker room, drops his gear, checks his phone like any young person would do. And the first thing he sees is a text from his mom. And she just says, you should have challenged that.
Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Right? That's sweet.
His mom knows it, but Dan Wilson doesn't know it. I saw this funny video of, I can't remember the guy's name. I apologize. But he's like a Mariners super fan.
Okay.
And he posts these things. And it was him living life using the same methodology that Dan Wilson uses to run his team. So he's just sitting there on the couch and he's flipping with this flipper. I call it a flipper with a remote control.
Yeah, it's your thumb action tells me you're
He's
holding
going
a remote.
beep, 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 and it's not working. And his friend's sitting there next to him. He's like, why isn't that remote working? And he goes, it's been done. It's not working for 3 months now. And the guy goes, why don't you change the batteries? He goes, it's going to work. Don't worry about it. And he has all these different things in life like Dan Wilson
I run my life like Dan Wilson.
I run my life like Dan Wilson runs his team and chooses his pitchers.
Well, the Mariners have a solution announced today. There's a
What's
major
the fix?
major announcement today for the Mariners.
Oh, nice.
13 new mid-season menu items at T-Mobile Park.
That'll do it.
Yeah, it's not the men, it's the menu.
There it
says
is.
Mariner front office. The food looks phenomenal. They got burgers, they got fish, they got although they do have a vegan BLT with vegan
That's not going to do it.
Bacon. That's not going to get it
That's
done.
not going to do it.
Take your game day experience from suck to succulent. With 13 new Mariner, I wrote that, they didn't.
I was going to say there's no way they say from suck to succulent.
It's pretty good though, right?
That is good. Yeah. They would say it.
13 new menu items at the ballpark for you.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
Big
we got
guest.
a Pasco City Council member on with us next who's trying to fight and keep his residents safe from Bob Ferguson's income tax. We'll tell you how they're trying to do it next. Stick around.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Point. Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Did you know every qualifying vehicle at Sunset Auto Family comes with oil changes for life? That's about $150 each, and you get up to 5 a year, saving you thousands over the life of your vehicle. Visit our friends at Sunset Auto Family. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. With the verdict on Main Street about the economy mixed, depending on who you ask, on Wall Street, by comparison, the major indexes closed higher. The S&P 500 index's fourth winning week in the last 5. Where storms have caused flooding, emergency responders are looking for 10 to 17 people in the water after a building collapsed at a campground in Missouri, according to local officials. ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
In Iron and Reynolds County, Missouri, they've got people needing rescue at campgrounds. They've had 6 to 10 inches of rainfall in just a couple of hours.
Machinery with hoses can be seen at the reflecting pool in front of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington. No confirmation if it's to drain the pool. The several days-long preliminary hearing for the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk, the conservative activist, is over until September 1st. Prosecutors aim to show that they have enough evidence against Tyler Robinson to go to trial. This is ABC News. The U.S. is on pace to break its own measles record for the second year in a row. Over 2,200 reported infections across 40 states, says the CDC. Wildfire in southern Spain overnight killed at least 12 people, 8 people injured, 23 others missing. ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge.
Europe is really warming year on year, faster than any other continent. Wildfire conditions are perfect, sadly. It's very, very dry out there. There are high winds at times. We've had multiple wildfires across France. Now wildfires in Spain, turning deadly. And we're pretty early in the season. And compared to previous seasons, much larger areas have already been burned.
Scary mid-air incident on board a Ryanair flight in Europe. A portion of the plane's fuselage came apart, debris bursting through the side of the engine, hitting the fuselage, causing a window panel to dislodge. The Passenger closest to the window taken to the hospital. Nobody else hurt. Happened shortly after takeoff when the flight was heading to Germany from Greece. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Of all the wireless companies in America, only one has 5 stars.
A wildfire in Douglas County may have been set intentionally. We will hear from the sheriff after Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Northbound 405 at 167, we have another collision. This one's in the HOV lane. South Center now to Bellevue, 27 minutes. 405 southbound slows just between the lake bridges, Linwood to Bellevue, 27 minutes. A 55-minute drive, Everett into Seattle. Tacoma to Olympia right now, just under an hour at 58 minutes. Pretty much stop and go from Joint Base Lewis McChord all the way to State Route 101. And we are seeing that eastbound 90 slow down out of Snoqualmie due to road work. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The deadly Chelan Hills fire is now being investigated as an arson. Douglas County Sheriff Tyler Cale says they have evidence it was human-caused, and he has a message for the person who sparked that fire.
If you know you're responsible for this fire, do the right thing and step up and try to make the best of what has been a tragic situation and impacted many lives in Douglas County.
One person died, 19 homes were destroyed in the flames. There is now a $25,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. And there is more fire danger this weekend with a red flag warning in effect for parts of central Washington tomorrow. Meteorologist Steve Bodner is with the National Weather Service in Spokane.
Be cautious out there. Even if you're not in red flags, then the winds are still going to be breezy with some periods of gusty conditions. So just be safe, be smart.
He urges people to follow local burn bans, avoid drying over dry grass, and secure those trailer chains as well. A Seattle dim sum landmark will stay open, but only on weekends, as we hear from KIRO News Radio's Tim Hole.
Joy Al Seafood Restaurant in the Chinatown International District is dropping its weekday and evening service, opening only for weekend brunch. Owner Vince Zhao says fewer customers are coming into the neighborhood. He tells the Seattle Times ongoing drug activity near 12th and Jackson sends a message that his restaurant is no longer a safe place to come and dine. Just days ago, Zhao planned to shut down the restaurant completely, but a new agreement with his landlord will keep weekend dim sum service going. The restaurant has cut about 70% of its staff in recent years, with its once popular wedding and banquet business down sharply after the pandemic. Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Frustrating season so far for the Mariners and their star catcher Cal Raleigh. He's batting just .162 with 13 home runs. MLB Network's Mark DeRosa coached Raleigh during the World Baseball Classic this year. Tell 710 Seattle Sports.
He was hooking a lot of balls, front shoulder, rolling over the top hands, doing some things that you would expect him to be able to get out of quicker than maybe he's been able to get out of it.
Mariners fell to 500 this season after getting swept in Miami. They begin a 3-game series with the Tampa Bay Rays tonight. Your forecast now, we are looking at sunshine this afternoon with highs in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, a few more clouds and highs in the low 70s. Another nice day for Sunday, though, with more sunshine. Right now, 75 and sunny in Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. We got a lot of stuff to get to in this hour. Coming up next in just a little bit, we're going to talk. We did just see, this is literally minutes old. This happened over the commercial break, but Graham Plattner, Maine Senate candidate, has officially now actually sent a letter. He has officially withdrawn from the race. So we'll get into a little bit of that a little bit later. I mean, we've now mentioned it, and that's probably as much as anybody cares about Graham Plattner.
He can still do a lot of damage to the Democratic Party in Maine and elsewhere.
I think he's done plenty of damage.
But he can do more. I'm saying he can still be a wrecking ball.
I would bet his name is not uttered again in the next 1,000 years in Maine. People do not want to talk about this guy. All right, let's move past that real fast. Sure. Let's get into, this is local. We care more about local stuff. I want to welcome to the show right now a council member for the Pasco City Council, Leo Perales, who joins us right now. Leo, thank you so much for making the time. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you guys for highlighting this issue.
We're happy to do it. Leo, pronounce your last name for me, because did I get it right, or am I a little off?
No, it sounded great. Perales, that's fine. You can say, you can put a little bit of Spanish on there, Perales.
Perales.
Perales. So I'm going to say Perales.
How do you do Pasco? You okay with that one? Because that throws them all the time.
Pasco, I got.
Yeah.
Pasco, I got.
Yeah, Pasco. Some people say Pasco, but no, everything sounds great on your end.
Perfect. All right. Well, I want to hear a little bit about on Monday night, just earlier this week. You guys passed a resolution, which has to do with the state income tax. Bob Ferguson state income tax. Can you tell us a little bit about what your resolution was and what you guys are trying to prevent locally in Pasco as well?
Well, it was a twofer. So it had to do with the state income tax and also a local income tax. And so I've been on this issue since before I was going to run on city council back in 2021. That was kind of in earnest in regards to the capital gains tax later passed in 2022 and stuff like that. But no, it's just a resolution is a statement. It's a policy stance. And we want to let the governor know and the Democrats, who have that kind of tri-party solidification there in Olympia, that we don't want this to go forward. I see, and along with my other colleagues, see the millionaire's tax creeping towards being a state income tax, if you will. And so we're just taking a stance. And I would encourage all 281 cities and towns and also all 39 counties to do the same. And let's really put a push and let Governor Ferguson know that we don't want this income tax. It's just going to make us less competitive and take away our advantage to recruit big box stores and honestly for smaller firms and businesses to expand. And so that was the main gist of that resolution.
Does this resolution put any more hurdles in front of the state legislative body? Is there something that your resolution would require them to at least address or clear before they can implement a millionaire tax?
I would say, yeah, I would say the state legislator really doesn't care what smaller cities have to say.
They also don't care what voters have to say.
Yeah.
No, they don't care what voters have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the resolution is that it is just a policy statement, which is why in a couple of weeks we're going to have, I believe here at our next regular meeting, we're actually going to have the ordinance in place. So that provides a hurdle for the city of Pasco. So let's say a couple of us conservatives get pushed off the city council with perhaps some more liberal-leaning members. They could come in if it's allowed. I mean, who knows? With these Supreme Courts overruling decades of precedent, we don't know. We could see a income tax ability put forward by cities here in the near future. And so this just provides an extra hurdle of transparency and accountability to a future city council. And so if they do want to implement a local income tax, then they have to have a hearing and they have to have public discussion. And so it just provides that barrier. And so, for instance, I'm just looking out for the best interest of my residents, because I'm not going to be on city council forever. And I just want to leave it in a better spot than how I inherited it.
You're moving up on the world. You're going to look for state legislation at some point. I mean, a guy who looks at this community and looks out to protect his community, that's an asset. And I'd like to see if you're successful and you're passionate about your citizenry, you can do a lot more good in a much bigger arena. For
the entire state. Yeah. That's what people want to hear in the entire state.
I honestly, I'm not doing this. I didn't think anything of it. To me, this was just common sense. This is something that a former council member, former Mayor Pete Serrano, who ran for Attorney General, this is something that he actually brought forward a couple of years ago. And I just came in and really just finished the job. So I'm really standing on his shoulders. But no, I have no intention to run for the legislature or anything. I love city council. I've really shown in this area that you can get things done if you really listen to the people and just kind of stay on it a little bit. But no, I have no intention to run for higher office.
Would you at least move to Seattle then and run for our city council?
He's like, heck no. Are you kidding? I don't want to live in Seattle.
I love going down there to Doorbell and do stuff like that. I think they need to hear a different flavor of politics and really understand what some of these policies are doing. If they do pass an income tax, especially just this past year, a lot of these policies are hurting the people that they say are supposed to protect and provide relief for. They just don't understand that. But I listen to the show all the time. I think we are at a tipping point in that area of the state, but it's a matter of providing the right message and doing what you're going to say. I think I've been fortunate to not only talk the talk, but walk the walk by being on the city council. And people have seen that, you talked about this during your campaign and now you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
We need more people like that.
We're talking with Pasco City Council member Leo Perales and
Perales. Come on, man, give the man some love. Come on.
Let me ask you this question. You guys passed this. You guys are in the process, at least, of making it more difficult for a future city council in Pasco to raise taxes on people. At least not without. The very first thing they would have to do is they would have to make it public, at least if they're going to do that. It provides a hurdle, which is a nice thing. It's like we have this thing statewide called the Constitution, which was supposed to have a referendum process, which they bypassed by calling it an emergency, even though the income tax doesn't kick in for 3 years or whatever it is. That's a heck of an emergency 3 years from now.
It's like saying there's a pack of matches in my drawer and there's going to be a fire.
You watch out. There might be a fire someday with that thing. But I do applaud that you guys are trying to at least put it on the books and saying, like, hey, these politicians, if they're going to do this, they need to be held accountable for this. Because what are you hearing from like locals? I mean, we get a lot of input from people in Pierce King, Snohomish County. What are you guys hearing in Pasco from just your average voter, just your average person who's trying to like make their way in life? Is this something that, because it was sold as a millionaire's tax, do people believe that? Because I talk to a lot of people, and they never call it a millionaire's tax. They call it an income tax because that's what it is. And I believe that's what it will become for everybody. What are people in your neck of the woods saying?
Well, I mean, we live in a more conservative area, and so a lot of people kind of see through a lot of that BS. And so I talk with people. I'm the people's champ here in the Tri-Cities, and people are hurting. Businesses are hurting. I just saw that report a couple of days ago from the National Federation of Independent Business. I mean, people don't want to expand. I mean, they're being hit hard with more taxes. Out of this last legislative session, you saw $9 billion tax package, and that's impacting businesses and normal people. And so, no, people are sick of it, and which is why another thing that's kind of came up on our radar recently is I want to join those 9 legislators and state senators in regards to putting a pause on the CCA and that fuel standard, gas standard. We need to provide relief for our residents. I talk to people every day, and that's the beauty about being a city councilman, is that you get to know people by their name, and you hear about people losing jobs. You hear about people having to shut down their business because Washington's become so unaffordable. I mean, this all kind of started. We all saw this coming. I think it's hindsight 2020, but this all started during the Jay Inslee administration. We were ranked number 1 at one point by CNBC as one of America's top states for business. Now we're at 11. And we're creeping out of we creeped out of the top 10. I would say another couple of years with the way we're going, we're going to be out of the top 20. I applaud the governor for creating this Economic Development Council, but I think he's about 5 or 6 years too late now, especially coming out of COVID. We shouldn't be issuing more regulations and increasing taxation on businesses and people, especially out of the COVID days. And it's just sad, at one point, people were coming to Washington for business, and now they're moving away. And so those are the things that I hear. I mean, I hear a lot of people in our area, they all want to move to Idaho.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too.
I think that's very sad to the point because we're so close. Well, we're I'm going to sell my house and go move to Idaho.
And when you think about, I mean, it really all comes down to price. Every time I have a conversation with people out there, whenever I'm at I'm meeting up with a bunch of buddies tonight for a poker game. I guarantee you, one of the main topics that everybody in my age group is going to be talking about, we're all in our, late 30s, early 40s. Most people are going to, at least at some point in the night, talk about man, things are crazy expensive. Things are crazy expensive. They just don't have to be that expensive. And we've been seeing it in Washington State for a long time. And the frustrating part is because we have access to the internet and the outside world, we can see that we have $1 cheaper gas just over the border in Idaho, even down in Portland, where their politics is a lot more similar to a place like Seattle, way cheaper gas. Because I only found out recently, you may not know this, but I just found out this recently, they don't have tolls on their roads in Oregon. They don't allow it. They don't have all this CCA stuff that we have. And as a result, their citizens are paying way, way, way less for gas. And that matters. That adds up in everything because gas is how you ship everything around the state.
Affects
everything
every
has
price
to get
we
more
see.
expensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your bananas are more expensive because of gas price. And that's what people care about right now. Go ahead, Spike.
Well, we're talking again to Pasco City Council member Leo Perales. You had mentioned getting other cities in Washington to do the same type of referendum about taxation from an income tax for local municipalities. Getting the entire state involved is going to matter this November if there's a referendum to put this on the ballot. this millionaire's tax in November. Is there action in your part of the state to get your citizens to vote this November against this millionaire's
the income tax initiative?
The income tax initiative to get on the ballot this November. Has there been conversations and activity in your area to try to get this overturned in November?
Oh yeah, of course. We've had people come down, with the Let's Go Washington organization, and I've assisted with getting those signatures, and so we're happy to see that really passed through. I mean, they delivered over 500,000 signatures, so we're happy to see this going forward, and that just shows you that we're not going to put up with this stuff. And it's not. I don't want to say it's Democrat versus Republican or nothing like that. It's really two competing tax policies, and that's all we're trying to say to the governor. We need to start respecting the will of the people and really respecting our Constitution, and we're just not. It seems like we're creeping more away from being from our own Constitution and precedent, and allowing our Supreme Court to kind of make these decisions. But no, definitely, there's been lots of people down here supporting this, and I think it's going to be a resounding a yes vote come November. That's the issue, is you sign that piece of paper saying, no, we don't want this. And then in November, you got to turn around and say yes.
And then you guys say yes, which is confusing. Yeah.
Clarify that right now here and there. But no, I want to get all the other cities here involved. Now, Kennewick did something similar a couple years ago, and they were the only one. I think Spokane as well too. And so, no, I want all of our cities to do this, and I'll contact other city councils and stuff like that, and tell them you should pass the same resolution if you guys feel the same way, and let's start coming together as cities and stuff, and start talking about these policies, because they impact our community. You said earlier, those costs of that fuel that gets passed onto those groceries and onto those services and stuff. And so this isn't sustainable. It really isn't. And again, that's the reason why the governor has decided to put together this work group. But I hope there's some people who kind of have my taxation, perspective on there, because if not, then they're just going to tell him what he wants to hear.
And there is also the risk that it is just for show, and he might be getting this big group together and not taking any of their advice, which I wouldn't put it past. But we'll find out. We'll see what happens. Leo, I'm interested. You seem like you seem like a young guy. How did you get into city council? How did you get into the position you find yourself in? It sounds to me like you're pretty passionate about keeping life affordable for the people around you. Did you start out as a small business owner? Like, what's your background?
My background, I just grew up in the Tri-Cities. My first encounter with local government was my parents getting a fine from the code enforcement, and it had to do with some weeds on the side of the house that was in the right of way. So I went down there and was pretty passionate and said, this is bunk. And they said, you know what, you seem like a bright kid. Why don't you apply to be on the code enforcement? And so they ended up putting me on the code enforcement, and then really my life just kind of took off from there. And I've been a planning commissioner, a housing authority commissioner. I've worked on issues in regards to police brutality. And then I've just found myself in a good position where people were telling me you should run for city council, and I decided to. And I lost my first time to current state senator Nikki Torres by about 100 votes. And I said, well, maybe I'll have a shot at this, and just kept on talking with my residents. And so a lot of residents knew who I was, because I was going on my way to kind of figure out what their issues were, and really just kind of bring that city council member back to the people and really fight for their issues. And then luckily I won in 2023, and I've been on the council going on 3 years now. And so I just love public service. We always sit around and complain about our representatives. They're not doing enough, doing this. And so I wanted to have that ability if I did one, to show them, show the community that representatives can truly represent you and actually do work, and not just have a name tag and collect a paycheck every 2 weeks. That's what I've done.
What's so great about his story, what I love about your story, Leo, is that old saying, like, all politics is local. I mean, like, it's very easy to complain about national politics and to say, like, oh, the federal government's coming to get me and all these things. The things that are really affecting your daily life, I think it was Medved who said this to me once, because I used to work on his show. Michael Medved.
Yeah, all politics.
I used to do like the board for his show in my early days in radio. It's your school boards, it's your city council, it's your HOA. I mean, like, these are the things that are actually affecting your daily life. I mean, like, in also in a sense, I mean, you got your mayor. It feels larger, but that is also a very local thing. It's your local politics. And what I love is that, you just stepped up and you're like, I hate that my parents got this stupid fine. This is bunk. This is ridiculous. And you went down and you advocated for yourself, and they're just a bureaucrat on the other side. That's a terrible thing about government that drives me crazy, and it should drive everybody crazy. It's faceless, and they don't care about you because They're not a real person. And you went down there and it's true.
No, I hear you.
And you went down there and you advocated for your parents. And they said, hey, you know what? You should advocate for other people in your local community. And I think that's, I think a lot of people are waking up to, especially in this like income tax thing. I think this has woken a lot of people up. We talked about this at the time when Jamie Peterson passed that, got his millionaire's tax bill, so-called. Mm-hmm. It's not millionaire's tax, it's an income tax. When he got that thing going and Bob Ferguson signed it, and we asked Jamie Peterson on the show, we were like, well, are you going to stop this at millionaires? Are you going to, put anything in there? And
can you write something into the bill?
We will never do that.
Can you write something in? No, we don't want to handcuff the future legislative bodies. Blah,
and
blah, blah.
Putting in the emergency stuff. Yeah. It's removing the will of the people, which has woken a lot of people up. You're saying like, hey, if you guys are going to step in and just start taking more of my money without asking me, then I'm happy to join my local city council, or I'm happy to join my local whatever board to make sure that nobody's trying to screw me in government. And I think you're a good example. Everybody should do the same.
I think more than that. I think my jaw's dropping listening to you talk. And you said you have no aspirations to state politics, but I mean, is it the 300 days of sunshine you get in Pasco? Is it the clouds of Olympia? What do I have to do to get you to even consider being a representative for the state of Washington?
Don't put too much on him. Let him.
I love this guy, man.
I love my family and I love the city of Pasco. And like you just said, everything you're saying, that's why I created my slogan when I ran here in Pasco was, it's your city, expect more.
Yeah.
That says it all. I mean, I really thought about that slogan. So like you said, you're dealing with that bureaucrat. Well, this is your city too. I mean, and you're not getting the service you need because we are customers, right? The customer is always right. We need to make things better. And so I personally just don't feel like I can make things better in Olympia, or at least just not right now. I feel like it's one party control. And until a lot of their voters start flipping on them, that I just don't see things happening.
That was the start.
Legislators.
That was the start. You watched this income tax thing. It planted a seed.
I think so. This could be that tipping point.
Yeah.
You are correct. And if I feel like I can make a difference, then most definitely, I would look into it. But I love being a city council member. I love hearing about people's issues and correcting them. You talked about HOAs. I've done work on that. We're doing work on the e-bike stuff that you guys were talking about. We're doing stuff on data centers. So all politics is local, and that's where I really like to grind, cut my teeth on and really just deliver for the citizens of Pasco. And so my heart's here right now, and I don't look forward to other stuff right now. I'm just looking to the next issue to help and assist here in the city of Pasco.
Well, keep fighting for Pasco. We appreciate you making the time. Thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
That's Leo Paredes.
I got you, buddy.
I can't roll the R. He's a good guy. We like Leo Paredes over there in Pasco. Thanks so much, man. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
A political shakeup for Democrats that represent Seattle.
Traffic.
Right now, Auburn to Renton at 25 minutes. That's a good 10-minute delay.
Conversation.
3 people on the floor can't cover 20 aisles of plexiglass. They're doing their best. It just doesn't work.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
And the party begins.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
All right, I'm very excited to be speaking with Phil Mitchell. He is a new advertiser on the show. He owns Sunset Auto Family. Phil, welcome.
Thanks, Jake.
I want to talk about something that I cannot stress enough how valuable this is for anybody who's looking for a car. You guys do oil changes for life. What does that mean?
Well, basically, it means if you buy a car that qualifies for oil changes for life, we're going to give you 5 oil changes a year. And they're about $150 now. You know, oil goes up and down, but guess what? We're going to change the oil for as long as you own that vehicle on us.
Like you're saying, oil changes are $150. They're even more if you're driving a diesel. And so you hold on to a vehicle for 10 years, that's like $10,000.
Oh, it can be even more than that. We've got a guy that's been changing his oil since 1985. He's gotten more oil changes than the car cost, and we're still changing it for him because that's what we do. We're your lifetime dealer.
And this is what people are going to get at Sunset Auto Family.
That's right. Great service for as long as you own the vehicle.
Oil changes for life. Only at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset. And people do like that.
Sometimes injuries can happen when you least expect them.
What broke my shoulder was reaching for my phone. I was trying to get the phone away from my cat.
That's how Heather tore her rotator cuff.
There was that hope. I was like, maybe this will heal on its own. And I waited a little bit, and it was not getting better.
She just couldn't take the pain anymore, so she saw Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
By the next day, my shoulder was already doing better. I have my arm back again, which was just wonderful.
Seems like she made the right choice.
I'm so glad I didn't do surgery.
So whether it's a hip like mine or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
I said to him at our last appointment, I was like, you better not retire because I want to know if anything else goes wrong with my body. You're there to be able to fix it because he's a miracle worker.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle's post-FIFA surveillance fight is heating up again after Mayor Katie Wilson shut down those cameras in the Stadium District and paused expansion of the city's real-time crime center. City Council's Public Safety Chair Bob Kettle says those programs are backed by city law, and the mayor does not have the authority to simply turn them off. On the Jake and Spike show this week, Seattle Police Officer Guild President Kent Liu made it clear.
Well, I think they should be turned on. I don't know of any evidence to suggest that there's a breach in the system, right, to suggest that, the feds are kind of looking in or overseeing anything at all.
Councilmember Kettle says he is willing to work with the mayor on any changes to the surveillance program. Revive I-5 is back this weekend as crews prep their work zone across the Ship Canal Bridge. Starts with a full closure at midnight tonight on northbound I-5 from downtown to the U District. KIRO 7 TV's Tyra Majors reports the freeway will reopen early Monday morning.
Northbound I-5 across the Ship Canal Bridge will be reduced from 4 lanes to 2 left lanes through the end of 2026. The work was paused during the World Cup. Washtenaw says the backups depend on what drivers do.
If people adapt, if they start carpooling, if they start using transit, if they adjust their schedules, that's going to lessen the amount of traffic.
The traffic continues Monday. The express lanes will operate northbound only 24 hours a day for all Revive I-5 lane reductions through the end of the year.
Sound Transit's light rail system shattered records during the World Cup. Agency now saying it logged 5.4 million boardings in June. That's an all-time monthly high. And then back on July 6, when the U.S. faced Belgium, more than 309,000 riders packed the trains in a single day. Pop-Tart is swimming free. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay explains.
Pop-Tart is a Salish Sea humpback whale and the calf of the famed whale known as Big Mama. Last week, she got tangled up in about 100 feet of rope and a buoy just north of the U.S.-Canada border. Responders were unable to get her loose. After that, whale watchers from both British Columbia and here in Washington kept a lookout. And on Wednesday, Pop-Tart popped up east of Race Rocks in Clallam Bay. That rope and buoy were gone. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And that takes us to 2:33. We have Lori checking the roadways at the real-time traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Mariners. Southbound I-5 at Mercer Street, a collision just cleared, but a new one now, South 5 at I-90. It's in the right lane. Linwood to Seattle now, 50 minutes. Northbound 405 at 167, a collision cleared. Renton to Bellevue is a 19-minute drive. Linwood to Bellevue, 27 minutes. Now, southbound I-5 at 54th, we have a incident in the right lane. Federal Way to Tacoma, just 12 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, 58 minutes. Don't miss firework nights all summer presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the 2000s Decade Show, July 17th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. And now to your forecast. Looking pretty good for this weekend. Today, sunny skies, highs in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, but temperature is still pleasant in the low 70s. Turning sunny again on Sunday, then a nice warm-up for next week, upper 70s and low 80s. Right now, 75 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hey, it's almost last call. You guys still have time to get some text messages in. 888-973-5476. We will read those next. You can have opinions on anything you want, and if they are good, we'll read some of them. All right, let's get to Friday favorites. This is a fun thing. We get to look back on some of our favorite news stories of the week. We cover many. Spike, what was yours this week?
I want to take us back just a few days when this was the happiest place on earth. The most beautiful city in America.
Was still alive.
When the world's eyes were on Seattle and we were ready for the moment. On Monday, America hosted Belgium in a knockout round of 16 teams in the World Cup. U.S. men having the tournament for the ages.
Yeah.
And everyone was ready for the moment. Seattle had its best foot forward, best face on. The city was shiny, was safe, was beautiful.
Oh, so shiny.
100,000+ hit the waterfront. The official numbers aren't in yet.
Yeah.
Waterfront was packed. The view parties were packed. 308,000 people rode light rail on Monday.
Amazing.
I mean, this is who we are. This is who we could be. This is who we once were. And the game didn't go our way, and that's neither here nor there. The athletes are what athletics are. What athletics are. But the city itself rose to the moment. And we asked the question, can Seattle maintain this? Can we be the Emerald City from here on forward? Can we take this momentum that we've garnered through federal and state and local coordination and resources and cleaned up our graffiti and addressed our homeless situation, at least for the time being? We kept it safe. We kept it attractive. We kept it welcoming.
Yeah.
It didn't take.
We kept it tight.
We kept it tight. It didn't take 24 dang hours.
It's like I try to do for my wife. I wake up every morning and I work out because I'm trying to keep it tight for my wife.
For her.
Because I know that if I don't,
right, If you let yourself go.
If you let yourself go, she's not going to be happy with that.
Right, and that's what I'm afraid. The jury's still out on where the city goes from here. We're at the fork in the road.
Mm-hmm.
But it took 24 hours for the mayor to say, you know what, those cameras are turning off.
Done.
You know, that's safe, zero incidents in the stadium district during 6 World Cup matches in Seattle. 0 incidents.
Cameras on, no incidents.
Yeah. It took a little longer, 72 hours for light rail to stop working.
Yeah, what happened with that? There was a hatch?
There was a power problem that, you know, that's a growing, the light rail's a growing, entity of the Northwest. I get it. There are growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, for 6 straight games for almost 3 weeks, record ridership, no problems. 72 hours after the matches are done in Seattle, no light rail from Northgate to the stadiums.
That is not tight. That's not tight.
You know, and I just want to, and we're going to be a city that's got problems. We're going to try to address these problems. The mayor's got issues. Council has issues. Law enforcement's got issues. Homeowners have issues. We all have issues. But I don't want it to be just a memory so soon.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go back to Monday. I want to go back and live in that moment again because I want to remember that.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
We were the center of the universe
before the game.
Yeah,
there was so much hope, so much optimism.
I mean, everybody was on the bandwagon, and there was room
absolutely.
for even more.
Yeah,
you know, there was over 30 million viewers, the largest the largest audience for any U.S. soccer game in history.
30 million people watched that game
in America.
Beautiful.
In America. It was a World Cup. We were the only game on that moment.
Yeah.
That was the largest audience in the world to see this city.
Unreal.
And part of the cleanup process, part of the investment in infrastructure, part of the effort was to showcase to Seattle for future opportunities of visitations and tourism and all these things. And I think those may have some positive results moving forward. I think they will. You know, we'll find out what the final tally is on whether or not the investment brought enough return to make it worth the while. I really think it will.
Sure.
You know, they say,
I hope so. I hope you're right.
I hope that's the case. Right. I just didn't want to forget how great it was too quickly.
It was a nice time.
That's my story of the week. It was
nice.
My Friday favorite was Monday in Seattle.
It was
the best Monday in Seattle history. How about that? Well, I don't know. Was the parade on a Monday?
I was going to say. I think the Monday after a Super Bowl win would have to be
pretty dang great.
Pretty dang great.
Pretty dang great.
I agree with you.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll keep it 100.
It was the third best Monday in Seattle history in the last 2 years.
There you go. Okay, great. That
All right.
really knocks it down. What's yours, man?
New York, that crazy building buckling in New York. I don't love the story. It terrifies me, but it's just one of those things where you just go like, how is it possible that could happen? What was happening is you have the Pfizer building. We had so many good jokes. Somebody typed in. I forget what the exact verbiage was on this.
Isn't it ironic that their Pfizer building is limp?
Couldn't keep it up.
Couldn't stay up.
Yeah, which was great.
Yeah.
But that was the Pfizer building, which it was an office space, and now they're converting it to 1,500 high-end luxury condos, basically.
Yeah.
2 questions. One, how difficult is it going to be for them to fix whatever problem that they from what I've seen from the developers, but take that with a grain of salt. The developers were saying, well, this is a very common problem that happens anytime you're retrofitting buildings. And obviously this is just a normal construction mishap that happens. Doesn't always get pressed like this, but it happens. I don't believe that for a second. When I saw that, I didn't believe that for a second because it's a beam that's buckling and multiple beams buckling. And then you're going to try, and that's months before you're trying to convince people to spend tons. I mean, how much would a condo in New York cost? We're talking, to start, we're talking at least $1 million, right?
At least, yeah, probably for a smaller unit.
Yeah, and they got
with a view of another building only.
100%.
Not luxury units. We're going to talk about multiple $1 million properties.
I bet.
1,500 condominiums going in. So I looked into the story after it broke and got some more, because I was kind of confused on, are they stacking stories on top of an existing building?
Yeah.
And a texter wrote in, goes, no. They're only putting 4 stories on top of a building that's already there. But that's not the case. The building had a base, how do I describe this audio? It had 21 stories of full size. Then it had 33 stories.
Smaller.
Yeah. And they literally built 11 more stories on top of the base. They built 11 stories on top of that, then to bring it up to the height of to level the entire building, then through 4 more stories on top of that covered the entire building.
So they were trying to kind of thicken that, make that.
Exactly. They took up every square footage from street to the sky of that building. So they were stacking 15 new stories on top of that 21 stories, and that's where the metal buckled. Yeah. That's where the beam buckled. What kind of permitting?
I was just going to make a horrible Pfizer joke, but I'm not.
That's quite all right.
This is a check swing.
Nice call. Well, good judgment. How do you get that permitted to stack 15 more stories on top of an existing building?
It doesn't sound great. It doesn't sound great.
And accidents happen, yada yada yada. But these are construction engineers. These are engineers. They know what they're doing.
Listen to this. This is the commissioner of building something. He's saying that all is good, all is safe. Would you believe this?
We were able to visit and get to the 21st floor this evening ourselves to inspect and look at the work that's been done. And we are feeling confident that many of the emergency shoring measures that have been put in place as a result of extensive discussions with the building owner, the contractor, their licensed professional.
They're basically saying that it's good to go.
I ain't buying it.
Here's the other thing, too. I cannot, because I was alive, this made such an impact on all of us who were alive to live through the horrible events of 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
I associate New York with a horrible 2 buildings coming down in a horrible way. And so when I saw this story, you're immediately, because you're seeing fire department officials, you're seeing firemen rushing into the building.
Closed down 3 city blocks because they're worried about it coming down.
7 nearby buildings.
Yeah.
Jason Rance, who's in New York right now filming, he was going to actually be filming tonight. They originally canceled tonight his appearance because they were like, we might have to keep these buildings evacuated. They have since brought everybody back. So he'll be on tonight Newsmax. He's hosting if you guys are interested. But I just can't get those images out of my head. And I think they're going to have a very difficult time selling this project going forward.
Propping it back up and throwing a few steel beams under it. It's going to be good enough. I don't trust it.
We'll see what happens. All right, it's going to be last call next. We got your text messages. You still got a couple minutes to get those in. Feel free to send them away. 888-973-5476. We'll get to those when we come back. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, afternoons 2 to 7.
So the places that you want to be throughout the entire year. You want to be in Vermont for the fall. You want to be in Washington, D.C. for the cherry blossoms. And then you want to be in Seattle for about 6 weeks to enjoy a summer that you will tell everyone is the most beautiful place in the world to be. For the World Cup happening right here, it's perfect.
The John Curley Show. Subscribe to KIRO News Radio on YouTube and watch live or later.
Integrity Roofing and Construction is your trusted local roofing team. They do complete restorations, they do repairs, they do replacements. They've got a complete design division in-house. They can do it all for you. Why don't you call them today at 206-202-ROOF and schedule a free video inspection, free roof assessment. Find out how you did through the winter. Find out if your installation's up for the summer. Their website is integrityrc.com. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of glowing reviews there. One of them's mine. IntegrityRC.com is the website. Call them up at 206-202-ROOF.
Hey, buying a used car can be stressful. Sunset Auto Family takes that stress away with a 48-hour used vehicle exchange policy. You pick it out, you drive it for a couple days. If it's not the right fit, they'll help you find one that is. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries,
they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Hi, thanks for calling Uline.
Wait, did the phone even ring?
Nope.
Okay, so you answered before the ring. But now you're going to put me on hold, right?
We don't do that here. We're real people answering the phone, ready to help with your order when you are.
Uline has thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline, we warehouse for you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event going on right now through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
All right, welcome back to the show. We get a lot of text messages. You guys are great on these, and we love them. This is Last Call, where we give you your final chance of the day to let us know how you're feeling about the stories we talk about. Ella, who's filling in today. Laura's out having a good time. Ella's in. Great job, by the way, today.
Thank you very much.
Why don't you start us off?
Okay, sounds good. So on the jet, passenger nearly being sucked out of the window, Unicycle Mike says, look at how the seatbelt saved him. Lol, that's pretty cool, lol. Okay,
That's right.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So it is amazing. Can you imagine just being like held in by a seatbelt, 20,000 feet in the air?
I admitted that I don't wear a belt on the plane. I take it off the minute they allow me to, but I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Mr. Worm.
Keith Van Everett says, this is not a Boeing issue. Boeing does not manufacture the engine. This sounds like a maintenance issue.
I agree.
We'll find out.
It does sound like a maintenance issue because the plane ran great for 18 years, and then finally a window pops out because the engine problem. That does sound maintenance to me. B in Puyallup says, we assume risk when flying. If there isn't neglect to be found, it's possible the passenger gets nothing. What? I would be shocked if they didn't
get a better lawyer.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
253 says, without engine checks and inspections, it's not on us. I think he's referring to Boeing.
Totally agree.
CJ and Bothell, this story sounds weird. Hanging halfway out the window in 20 to 30 below temperatures at 400 miles an hour. How's this guy alive?
This was my question, too. It is unbelievably cold, and you can't breathe. 400 miles an hour, you're just like, I don't know how that's even possible that he's still alive, but somehow he is.
Tom Cruise does it in all those movies, and he does his own stunts.
Did you watch the final Mission Impossible?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
So he's hanging on the side of the jet?
So he's actually hung on a couple of jets. Like he was on, I think he was on a, is it a Gap? What is it called? It's like one of those massive tanker planes or transporter, whatever
C-130s?
It might be, like it's super something. So he hangs on the side of that thing. But that was like 10 years ago. The most recent film he's hanging on, his face is moving around a lot in a way that it did not in the last movie.
Which it very rarely does in anything he does.
Well,
and he's not a 61-year-old Serbian guy who's overweight.
This is Tom Cruise.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, where are we at here?
We got wildlife crossings?
Let's do wildlife crossing.
425 says, how many people did not hit deer or elk? Maybe it saved some lives.
It
Talking
might
about the
have.
$6 million wildlife overpass.
Listen, compared to what they're spending in L.A., there's one in L.A. that is $114 million, and they haven't even hooked it up. And
Does it go from Oakland to San Francisco?
It's just for...
Jeez.
I was going to say fish, but that's not it. It's just for wildlife.
Melissa in Hobart says, have you not seen the 10 miles or 10 the miles of 10 feet fence along the freeway that are literally directing the animals towards this bridge? They weren't stupid when they put it in.
I'm not calling them stupid, Melissa. I'm just saying, was it absolutely necessary, the price that they're spending on all this stuff? But whatever, I don't care. Let's do one from Pamela in Black Diamond. She says, don't forget all the deer, elk, lions, bobcats, wild horses. The list goes on. This is just the first sighting of a bear. You think a lot of wild horses are crossing that thing? I bet you almost not. Pamela, I love you, and you text in a lot, and we like you. And Black Diamond's a great place. I bet you there hasn't been a single horse that crossed across that thing.
I'd be surprised.
A wild horse?
I know. I'm with you.
Come on.
There are wild horses in America.
Come on,
okay,
Pamela.
Aaron and Rosalind. This is right in his neighborhood. They spent $4 million on the fencing alone. Is that on top of the 6 for the bridge?
It's a horse sound.
Let's go on.
On the Mariners not challenging that final thing, Bill in Lake Stevens says the Mariners organization lives in the past. I mean, they're still showing the highlights of Edgar's double, Randy Eno's pitch to get them to the playoffs. I love Dan Wilson, but it's time for him to go. He doesn't have what it takes. Ouch, Bill. Jeez Louise. That's harsh.
B in Puyallup says, everyone knows last year was a fluke. We play in a horrible division and got lucky.
Oh, B.
I can't read them,
B.
but I want to, but I can't.
Why?
Because.
Can you not?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to.
You gotta take credit.
Nah, I don't want to read it. It might be inappropriate.
I said something during that segment. You go back to the podcast, listen.
Rachel,
hear it again.
Rachel sent this. It's very good. We're not going to read it, but it's
Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate the comment. On raising taxes in Seattle, Chris in Port Arthur says, honest question, what does Seattle and Washington have to show as a success for their tax increases over the past decade?
It's a great question, Chris. Great question. Ella, give us one more real fast.
Okay, one more.
Minute.
Okay. Well, from Friday Favorites on the World Cup on Monday, Elena says, Spain got revenge for us today against Belgium. Ole, the land of my parental grandparents.
They won 2-1.
And they moved on,
They moved on.
There you go.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Great week of shows. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. John Curley, he's coming up next. We're going to take a couple days off for the weekend, but we'll be back on Monday. We hope to see you there. Have a great weekend, all, and enjoy the weather. All right. We'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
State Senator Jamie Peterson drafted one of the state's most progressive taxes to date, the income tax on millionaires.
Engaging conversation.
We pay teachers the 4th highest of any state in the country.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
The Seahawks! They're bringing it home again!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Did you know every qualifying vehicle at Sunset Auto Family comes with oil changes for life? That's about $150 each, and you get up to 5 a year, saving you thousands over the life of your vehicle. Visit our friends at Sunset Auto Family. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break,